in my domain. Got the whole crowd screaming out our name. It's a blowout, it's a hurricane. It's over before you know it. Why you shaking? We're a dynasty in the making. We're the royalty. Now we're breaking down the enemy. Move over for the soldiers. Take a swing, I can take a hit. If we die, it's fine. We live for this. It's all for this. We're gonna stand on top with our hands in the sky. Gonna raise our cup to the stadium lights. For the glory, for the glory. We celebrate with the city tonight. Hear the hometown cheer, it's the ultimate high. For the glory, we do it for the glory. Yeah, we've waited for our time to come. Calculated everything we've done, we've upgraded. Now you can't outrun a champion. Now you're facing one. Can you hear them? Yeah, it's all for us. You believe them? Yeah, it's serious. Hear the siren. We're victorious. I'm telling you. Can I get a hell yeah? Take a swing, I can take a hit. If we die, it's fine. We live for this. It's all for this. dynasty in the making. We're the royalty, now we're breaking down the enemy. Move over for the soldiers. Take a swing, I can take a hit. If we die, it's fine, we live for this. It's all for this. We're gonna stand on top with our hands in the sky. Gonna raise our cup to the stadium lights. For the glory, for the glory. We celebrate with the city tonight. Hear the hometown cheer, it's the ultimate high. For the glory, we do it for the glory. Yeah, we've waited for our time to come, calculated everything we've done, we've upgraded. Now you can't outrun a champion. Now you're facing one. Can you hear them? Yeah, it's all for us. You believe them? Yeah, it's serious. Hear the siren. We're victorious. I'm telling you. Can I get a hell yeah? Take a swing, I can take a hit. If we die, it's fine, we live for this. It's all for this. We're gonna stand on top with our hands in the sky. Gonna raise our cup to the stadium lights. For the glory, for the glory. We celebrate with the city tonight. Hear the hometown cheer.
After Bristol last week, we go over the state border to North Carolina, and we are live here in Charlotte Motor Speedway for the round 9 of the Pasky Cardiac Cup Series. And what a race we have in store for you tonight, and what a guest we have in the booth with us tonight. As returning to the booth for the first time in a long time is Mr. Nate Siefka. Nate, good for you to join us tonight.
Thank you, Sam. It's an honor to have you in the booth with me tonight. Definitely is.
But anyway, looking forward to some hot action here on the 1.5 mile oval. We had a lot of controversy in the 2 races we saw at Bristol. Looking forward to see what we got for this one here tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. But that's a byproduct of Bristol. You know that, Sam. I mean, hot tempers flare at that racetrack. So hopefully it's a little bit calmer affair we have tonight. But still, should be some hot action on the racetrack here in the great state of North Carolina.
Absolutely. As we're running on the new scan here tonight, but obviously for those that have been living under a rock and don't know anything about iRacing, iRacing rescanned the track recently, and in the not the last build but the build before, they released this new configuration. So we are looking forward to see how this one turns out for the first time in Pasky's. So without further ado, let's go into it. We do have qualifying underway right into the action right now, as I'm going to get rid of the music because as cool as it sounds, I don't really want to be playing it all day. So we have times in already, and we have a surprise at the top. Actually, I'm not going to say it's a surprise at the top because this guy has he ran a very impressive race last week, and I don't know what that camera is. Just, yeah. Anyway, we got Kyle Zimmer out on track, and something worth mentioning about Kyle Zimmer. He's from the Simpossible League. I mentioned him last week, but he's a driver out on track, and he's completely deaf, Nate.
Yeah, I mean, I've done my fair share of races with hardware issues with headphones. I'll tell you what, it ain't easy to just drive around a racetrack with no headphones, no sound, nothing like that. So props to him for being competitive, like week in, week out, without a major sense in the race car. So good on Kyle. We hope we have a chance to be able to interview him in a special way and be able to bring one of the first of the kind interviews in iRacing probably. But it'd be great to have.
Absolutely, as we're just focusing on him coming across the line right there as he goes into P10, so good position for him. Still waiting for tyres from Hoot Baker, Marcus Hagman, Michael Atkins Jr., KP, the league owner, only just going out on track, now having a few connection issues. Michael Javarthan, winner from last week, and Dylan Vose is yet to put a time in, as just so I say that. Hagman and Pasky do put times in respectively. I was hoping KP would be running a new paint scheme tonight, but he seems to be running the first half of the season configuration, but never mind. He's out there on track, and hopefully he can put something better down in the second lap, because that first lap wasn't his best, to be honest, Nate.
Yeah, not a good first lap. Comes across the line this time. He's going to set a 33.5, puts him 7 still. Not a bad lap from him. See what Marcus puts up, 33.71. So it feels pretty tight, especially at the top. 8 thousandths between the top 3 there, with Ludwig at a 2.80 and Parks at a 2.88.
Yeah, and I did say it was. I did initially say it was a surprise to see Ludwig up there as through turn 2, and he's still having a moment going through turn 2. Oh, turn 4. Sorry, I'm getting corners wrong again. But only Ludwig sitting on the pole right now, ahead of your teammate, Mr. Jeff Hollingsworth.
Yep, looks like it. Looks like the top spots are probably much in line here as Javarthan. Notice he set up probably one of the fastest first laps that I've seen, so it's going to be interesting to see what he puts across the line as he comes out on the backstretch.
Dylan Vose out on track right now as he's looking to get a good grid slot for this race tonight. We've got 200 laps around this track tonight, only 100 less than the Coke 600, so I hope they know what they're doing out there. It's going to be interesting as Dylan Vose goes up to P5 and Trevarthen steals the pole.
Yeah, told you that was a good first lap from him. So strong first lap from him. Goes 12 thousandths of a second clear the top. With how tight the field was, that's a pretty good lap.
Yeah, and the only two drivers not to take a time yet here tonight is Hoot Baker and Michael Atkins Jr. Hoot Baker and, Baker and Atkins Jr., they like to start at the back, so no surprise that they have opted not to take a time here. We've still got just over a minute and a half left to qualifying. With that, let's speak to one of the drivers before we do go to the race here tonight, and we're gonna speak to. I don't want to jinx him because my God, how much bad luck has he had this? Yeah, but I'm going to speak to him anyway because I'm an asshole. And we're going to drag Mr. Kevin Paskwich into the booth. Kevin Paskwich, you got a copy?
Hey guys, what's up?
The sky usually, but anyway. How's it feeling out there? You're on the new configuration for the first time, I believe. So how's it feeling out there on the new scan?
The new scan with the new setup, actually, you can hold it wide open if you're by yourself. If you're in traffic, you kind of have to feather a little bit and pick your places because arrow push is real, but it's a lot of fun. I think it's going to come down to early in a run, who makes the best moves, the best decisions, and the later we get into a run, I think it's going to become who has the best handling car, who saves their tires the best, who can keep momentum through the corners, obviously, because you can keep your foot down here through most of the run.
Absolutely, and starting P9 here tonight, pretty respectable position. I know you'd like to be further up the grid, but what do you reckon you can do here? I know it's going to be a long one here tonight, 200 laps here at Charlotte. Just got to be playing the patience game, I suppose.
Yeah, it's 300 miles. I don't know. It's going to be an interesting race, to say the least. Just kind of bide our time, see how it shakes out, I suppose. This car with the scan is a lot of fun to drive, and we'll see where it goes.
Absolutely. Well, KP, before I let you go, anyone you'd like to give a shout out to?
Obviously, everyone, you guys, Phenomenal Evolution, Palmetto Distilleries, the PH Human Project, PH Aware, all those guys, Ride to Give. Of course, the guys in this league for coming out and racing with us. So, thank you all, and we're going to have fun tonight.
Okay, KP, driving the Palmetto Distilleries number 27. We will throw you back up to your room, and good luck for tonight's race.
All right, thank you, guys.
Thank you.
So, Kevin Paskwich sounded very confident for tonight's race. So, hoping he's going to get a good result out of this. I hope he does because he's had some terrible luck lately. But before we do battle out on track right now, we're going to go to the grid for tonight's race, and starting up on the pole will be Michael Trevarthen. He'll be joined on the front row by Ernie Ludwig. Starting on the second row will be Jeff Hollingsworth and Stephen Parks. Row 3 will be Dylan Vose and Rob Jenkins. Row 4 will be Mark Vega and Robert Dudley, and starting in 9th and 10th will be Kevin Paskwich and Ron Hollyfield, Nate.
Tyler Woods will make the 11th position his home tonight, or at least at the beginning, with Michael Tipton in 12th place. Kyle Zimmer, we talked about him a little bit there, and during qualifying he'll roll off P13. Marcus Hagman rolling off P14, with Atkins Jr. and Baker taking up the last row in 15th and 16th, respectively, not taking times for both of those drivers.
So 16 drivers set to take the green here tonight as they start rolling out on track. We will go straight to them right now, as my TV2 camera is absolutely balked right now, so I'm not going to bother with that one. Out rolling on the track, we've got Trevarthen, who's been on a roll since he came into this league. Got to be one of the favourites out there tonight, Nate.
Absolutely. You said a lap like that, you're putting a big target on your back, but he's got a lot of quality talent behind him, so it'll be interesting to see how the race progresses, what kind of runs people get on the beginning, and see how aggressive the racing here is in the beginning.
Absolutely, and just want to welcome everybody to the live chat right there. We've got Tyler Dudley in the chat, we've got Mark Vega in the chat. You should be driving, sir, so don't start texting now. Yeah, asshole. Anyway, Trevarthen on the pole, Ernie Ludwig second. Your second row is Stephen Parks and Jeff Hollingsworth. Hollingsworth's going to be another strong one out there. He's won races so far this season. So is Rob Jenkins as they come out of turn 4. Nate, I'll give you the honour of getting us going for the first time tonight.
Trevarthen holds the field at a nice steady 55 miles an hour. He's waiting for the green flag as it is out now. And we are away for the Charlotte 300 here.
At Charlotte.
I didn't know where that was going at all.
Anyway, we have the Phil going single file pretty early right now, and Jeff Hollingsworth already looking to the inside of Michael Trevarthen as they come out of turn 2. And look at the spread we got right now. They were single file. Now they decided they want to have a bit of a fight as they make their way through 3 and 4 for the first time here tonight, Nate.
Yeah, that not even be a target on the back of Trevarthen. It might be a parachute. He's falling way to the back. He's back to what, 5th, 6th, maybe 7th now. He's going to drop a long ways back here. And he might be going to the back on purpose, it seems like. Yeah,
I might be trying to link up with Dylan Vose, who's back there. So hopefully that works out for him. But he has fallen back. He's alongside the 25 of Kyle Zimmer right now. As Jeff Hollingsworth fighting out actually with Dylan Vose for... No, is it Dylan Vose?
Yeah, this is Dylan Vose up there in the top line there.
Oh, so maybe Trevarthen did have a bad start and he's just fallen back anyway. Kevin Pasky from 9th up to 3rd already. He's on a roll here. He's looking to the inside of Stephen Parks, almost getting into the side there, having to avoid... No, stop, Dylan Vose, Stephen Parks having to avoid him there, as Charlie Wood's going to overtake him as well now. But now we've got a battle resuming again between Hollingsworth and Vose. Vose going to take the inside line going into turn 4, and he's going to take away the lead here at Charlotte and lead his first lap here tonight.
Yeah, this is pretty interesting. Not quite a line that definitively works. The top line looks like this lane you don't want to be in, but it also seems like the top lane can work. We saw it with Vose there. He actually made that line work, so it might be interesting to see as the track rubbers up to see what lanes end up working a little bit better as we get further on into the 300-mile race.
And Mike Tipton did not take the green here tonight, so he's going to be our first he's a non-starter pretty much now. I'm going to take a look at Michael Atkins Jr. He's already up to P9 from the back of the field. Watch for him as he makes his way through the pack here tonight, as these camera packs are awful right now. They're just warping through the walls. But anyway, Michael Atkins Jr. chasing down Ernie Lundwig, another driver that's fallen back now. He's fallen from 2nd down to P8 now, so Lundwig having a few troubles there early on as well, as he looks to the inside of Carl Zimmer coming through turn 4. And not going to make it work as Zimmer holds on for now. Dylan Vose still out in the lead, but Jeff Hollingsworth looking to that inside once again. And takes away the lead again. Stephen Parks looking as well, as Kevin Pasky has found his way back up to 4th place again.
Yeah, it looks like just right now it seems like there's not a definitive person I can say is doing really hot right now. It just seems like you got some people trying to fall the back on purpose, and you got some people that are starting to race it up a little bit there.
Yeah, and Trevarthen has been well known to play the patience game in the past. He did that last week at Bristol, came back from absolutely nowhere and won the race. So good for him, as we've got a big wreck there. Ernie Lundwig into the wall, and Michael Atkins Jr. involved as well. And caution number 1 going to fly. That is a big hit for the 16 and the 48.
Wow, that was massive. That took out. That was an iRacing crash right there, if you've ever seen one.
And I believe it was instigated by Atkins Jr. As we're going to take a look here. And yeah, Atkins Jr. just basically hooked him there.
Yeah, he hooked him. I don't know if that's definitely not intentional at all. I don't think. I think Ludwig thought he was going to get more room than he did. I think Atkins was trying to maybe set up a move on the 25 there, so maybe just a bit of miscommunication there between the two. That was not really miscommunication, but you know what I mean. And it looks like that's what set up that incident there.
Going on board with Ernie Ludwig as they race around there. We're going to see this hit as it happened. And just there's the hook, there's the hit. Big incident there for Ernie Ludwig, as we've got 2 very damaged cars out there right now. And I'm telling you now, 200 laps, you don't want things like that to be happening this early in the race.
Absolutely not, and that's fast repair for both vehicles. There's no way you. That's definitely probably blown engines for both those vehicles. So they're both going to burn their fast repair, and they both got to be a little bit more conservative here as the race continues to wear on.
Yep. So everybody in pit road right now, as it looks like everybody's going to come in, and we see that is Ernie Ludwig with that broken car in the background, going to come in and take his fast repairer. Stephen Park's going to be the first one out of pit road, taking 2 tires here tonight.
Let's see how that works out. I mean, they only did, what, 7 laps there under green? That's not a whole lot. The right side to take a brunt of that. That could be a really good move there for Parks.
Yeah, a big move there. Big call there from the 3. Hollinsworth coming out second. Ron Holyfield coming out in third. Dylan Vose and Carl Zimmer moving up there. Well, Dylan Vose didn't move up. He actually lost there, but Carl Zimmer moving up to the top 5, and I think the biggest loser right there is Kevin Pasky. He moves from 4th back down to P6 now.
Yeah, absolutely. But you know, when you got a strategy call like that with Parks, you're not really focused on, you know, oh, I fell this many positions back. You're thinking, oh, okay, how kind of start is the guy in the front gonna have? And he's probably not even thinking about the pit stop. He's probably thinking about what the possible good ideas and bad ideas of that is, and if that's a good idea or not. So you're probably not really thinking about that pit stop, Sam, to be honest with you.
No. But they will be thinking about how Stephen got out in front of him. He took 2 tyres. That might be crucial for the restart as the lights go off on the pace car. Very quick caution period for the first time here tonight. The first caution usually is the quickest one, so no surprise there. Stephen Park's going to be at the... Jeff Hollinsworth to his outside, and he's got to look for a lightning start here to Stephen Parks, because you don't want to let those 2 tyres burn off too quickly.
No, you definitely don't, but we saw in that start there that he got such a jump that he ended up going into turn 2. He washed up and let Hollinsworth get under. We're talking about Trevarthen, of course. So it'll be interesting to see what Parks does to combat that this time.
Yeah. Looks like Ron Holyfield's eager to go. He's already on the back of the 3. So, inside a Toyota and a Chevy on the outside, and you got a Chevy and a Ford on the 3rd row. And for it being the newest car, I'm pretty shocked that there's not so many Fords out there tonight.
Yeah, that's true. But you know what? You got that Chevy power, and that Chevy power is pretty dope, as they say. So.
As they come out of turn 4, the pace car going to make the hard left turn into pit road right now. There he goes, the field in the control of Stephen Parks as we come down and the green flag is out. They hit the loud pedal, and a good start actually for Stephen Parks there. Manages to get the gap on Jeff Hollinsworth. Hollinsworth changing lanes after the finish line. That is a legal move, so no problems for him there. Holyfield and Vose going to be side by side as they go through turn 2. Kyle Zimmer, a great start for him. He's trying to fend off Rob Jenkins and Kevin Paskwich, doing so pretty successfully so far as they go towards turn 3. Jeff Hollinsworth going to make the move on Stephen Parks. Those 2 tyres might not be working right now, as he's going to get absolutely freight trained here by looks of things, because Ron Holyfield is already alongside him as well.
Didn't look off the pace though. That's important though. He's not falling back super fast, so he's hanging right with them for now. It'll be interesting to see if they get a couple laps on the tires and see if he falls back any, but at the moment, this doesn't look like a bad strategy call. This actually looks pretty good at the moment. I'd say this is a pretty good strategy call. Give me 10 laps though. I'll give you a different verdict then probably.
Yeah, might be a bit different story after that, as he does pick up some speed. It does stay in front of Holyfield, but a very drastic lane change there for the man in the 3. And the thing is about this race, because of how long it is, they do not want to be too aggressive too soon. And that's what we saw already with Michael Atkins Jr. and Ernie Ludwig. We don't want to see that too early. People just need to settle down and just turn the corners until it's actually time to go.
Yeah, I'd say so. I mean, I don't think we're far away from getting a super long green flag run that takes up, a good fuel stint. So I think that's coming. I'm just not sure when, but it's coming for sure. And it'll be interesting to see. Ooh, oh no! Holyfield's in the grass. I can't even find him, and he's out being crashed.
Yeah, and caution number 2 is going to fly for that one as he comes back up on the track in a big way. It does lock them down to try and save it, and Hoot just having nowhere to go. Only Ludwig almost caught in that as well.
Yeah, definitely. And it looked like that's just... I can't even tell you what that kind of was. That just really just... Got
into the door of Kevin Paskwich. And that was enough to send him into the grass, unfortunately. So Holyfield on the back foot already. Surprisingly, only got rear end damage from that, so not too much of a setback for the man in the one. But one person that might be suffering a setback here and might need to bring it down pit side, it might be maybe Stephen Parks. Was probably looking for a long run on those two tyres. Not going to get it now.
No, definitely not. And, you know, he's thankful he probably only fell a second there. You know, it sucks, of course, for Holyfield. He looked really racy there. But it sucks that he ended up getting crashed there. Hopefully we'll see him back up the front, though. He definitely deserves to be up there.
Yeah, we got... Actually, so this might actually work in Park's favour in the end. So, good call. But we got a couple people staying out, I believe.
Does Vose have rear end damage on your end there, Sam, or is it just me?
He has a lot of rear end damage.
How did he get that?
I have no idea. Let me find out.
Oh, they wrecked under yellow.
Yes, they did.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Are you seeing it yet, Sam? Or
I'm looking at it now, and oh, Paskwich lost control under braking, hitting to Zimmer and Vose at the same time.
oh no! Zimmer was. I don't know if Zimmer didn't quite get the feel of getting picked up there, but they both were well over the speed they should be arriving there.
Yeah, so that's where the damage came from for Dylan Vose. And I did notice a bit of damage on Paskowicz's car, which made me wonder how he got damage from the back of Dylan Vose there, because I was actually wondering where that damage came from on the front of Paskowicz's car as he comes out of pit road. He's been pit farming the living daylights out of that car now, so he's not going to burn his fast repair just yet. But at the front, we've got Rob Jenkins, Robert Dudley, and Ernie Ludwig, your top three right now. Jeff Hollingsworth did win the race off pit road, and Stephen Parks actually took 4 tyres this time.
Yeah, I think he's gonna take 4 tires. I mean, he learned his lesson from that, though. So good to see that we have some strategy here working as Rob Jenkins is at the front now. I don't think that's a net position there. As
yeah. I'll tell you what, with these stock cars right now, it's a chance for everybody to prove that iRacing is better at the stock car game than actual games, as NASCAR Heat 4 was released today. So
just to think some people actually call that a sim.
Yeah. I'm waiting for the day they actually try and call that a sim.
Oh, they did. Did you not know that? Some IGN, I believe, tried calling it a sim, and I think everybody roasted them to the core.
Yeah. I remember when Forza tried to bring out a NASCAR mod, and obviously Forza likes to call themselves a quote-unquote sim, and they got absolutely roasted for that. So for being a complete and utter game, to call themselves a sim is just even more of a joke than when Forza did their thing.
Absolutely.
So lights are off at the pace car again. We're ready to get things going again. Rob Jenkins going to bring us back to the green this time. By these top 3 are in the top on old tyres right now as the pace car is off. Rob Jenkins not wasting any time. We are back under green here as they fly down past the line and in towards turn 1. And a pretty decent start for Jenkins and Dudley, but Ludwig got absolutely jumped there on the restart.
Yeah, he did not have a good start. Probably had some wheel spin, I think. I heard it a little bit. But looks like, let's see what Dudley can do. He probably won't fight his teammate too hard, which is Hollingworth. Whoa, look at this in the back. Oh, no! What a save by Ludwig!
And we're going to go back and look at that as they're all going to get bunched up. Good for them to stay out of it. Carl Zimmer falling back as well, as I believe he might have been involved in that. Let's take a look and see. It was Stephen Parks looking to the inside of Ludwig there and just hit his left rear quarter panel. That was enough to send him into a bit of a half spin. It did save it, but at the same time, so that must have been a bit hair raising for the guys around him.
Yep, some butt cheeks were clenched there for sure.
Meanwhile, back in the front, Rob Jenkins has been caught by Jeff Hollingsworth, and Robert Dudley is on his inside. And Michael Trevathan, he did fall back at the initial start, but he's right up there in that top 4 fight now. As Hollingsworth just looking for a way by these two, and they're both on both sides, both grooves of the track. He just can't find a way by right now.
I don't think he's in a rush right now. He knows the long game is the more important thing. He doesn't care about leading laps right now. He's going to care about leading laps when we get to about 50 to go. So he's just driving around. He's just playing, having fun. So he's not really pushing it, which is good to see. So, I mean, we'll see how he gets really when we get to about 50 to go, 30 to go. That's when we'll see the real Jeff Hollingsworth come out and show his muscles. But right now, he's just running out there, just running around. It's having fun with these guys.
Yeah, and already we've got 2 separate packs forming here. 7th and 8th separated by 2.3 seconds already, as we've got side-by-side action between Dylan Vose and Kevin Paskwich for the 8th spot. And it looks like Vose is going to win with that rear-end damage. And Charlie Woods is right there too. He's had a clean car for the most part already tonight, so mystifying to see why he's so far back. Only Ludwig's still there despite that save. And we've got side-by-side action between Kyle Zimmer and Mark Vega, who we haven't really spoken about tonight.
Yeah, I think Bo's pretty happy to be over to get that pass there on a KP Little Redemption as he fixed the wall a little bit there.
Yeah, KP had a good start, but he's starting to get rattled a bit, but it seems. So just needs to stay calm and just run his race, and it'll come to him eventually. But to see a car a lot more damaged than him in front of him is probably going to incense him a little bit.
I mean, yeah, Bo's got a little bit more damage, but you also got to realize Bo's damage is in the rear of the car and the tailgate, not really affecting the spoiler that much. He's got a nice clean car to cut through the air there. So I don't think he's really being affected by that much, even though he's got more damage for sure. His actual race pace is better than KP, who's got a lot of front end damage.
Yeah, as we've got actually only Ludwig, Carl Zimmer and Mark Vega have actually caught up to these guys. We're going to go back to the front for a second as Michael Trevathan just put a move on Rob Jenkins, has moved his way back to the front. Here comes Jeff Hollingsworth as well, so those older tyres starting to fall off a bit there for the 89 and the 49 as Hollingsworth and Trevathan move to the point, and the pole set Trevathan back to the point again.
Yeah, which is pretty. I thought he was going to play the long game with the way he started the race there, but maybe he did just have a really bad start and wants to lead some laps. So this is good to see. It'll be interesting to see how this group of, 7, I believe, at this front pack actually race each other.
Yeah, 7.
They're gonna try to get to the end of the run here and see what they can do.
Yeah, problem is Michael Atkins Jr. trying to pass Stephen Parks on the outside. He's actually going to get the move done here, it seems, but gets a bit of a block from Robert Dudley there, and that's going to let Stephen ultimately. Bigger run there for Atkins Jr. out of turn 4. He gets the position away, and he's going to get the position away from Robert Dudley as well. Those older tyres really hitting a wall already here tonight.
Yeah, that was a pretty good move. You can hear it in the throttle application of the older tire guys that they're starting to struggle, and you're just literally seeing the tire advantage now, which is what 5 laps about just coming to play here as Atkins is just flying by these guys. He's not going to quite clear Jenkins here, but he's definitely driving a little bit faster than these other guys. He's trying to get through them. Trying to catch these top 2 are now checking out.
Yeah, and Atkins Jr. looks like he does definitely have the pace to keep up with the top 2, but they're already about a second ahead now almost, so he needs to kind of speed up a bit. He finally gets around Rob Jenkins now. Now he can set his sights on the top 2 though, but how long will it take before he gets to him? As Hollingsworth now has the lead. Trevathan is starting to fall back a bit now As it looks like Atkins Jr. will pick up the draft from the 2. Try and catch up to these 3.
Yeah, looking at these guys, the guys that took 2 there, you know, they're definitely off the pace in terms of lap times compared to the guys on fresh tires. So if we get a nice green flag run here, these guys are definitely going to regret this decision. They're lapping about 2/10 off of these lead guys, and the disadvantage is going to get worse and worse for these guys on the older tires. It's going to eventually just get to the point where they can't even be competitive with these guys.
Yeah, that means when they do pit, they will be completely off sequence. They will have to probably make an extra stop here if it does go green the whole way. But we've had 2 cautions already here tonight. We're on lap 30. We're about to be hitting lap 31 as they come through turns 3 and 4 now. And Jeff Hollingsworth has checked out already.
Yeah, for sure. And it looks like they're just playing the long game. They're trying to survive as we got some pretty good racing going on for the, I believe it's the 9th place position there. Or no, for 8th, I'm sorry.
Yeah, they've all managed to get away from Kevin Pasky, who's fallen back even further. He's actually behind Ernie Ludwig now. But yeah, there's fight for 8th place there. Charlie Wood's currently leading it right now. As Kyle Zimmer right behind him, Mark Vega right there, and Dylan Vose with that rear end damage still there. And you know what? I can't wait for the new damage model to come out, because with that damage on the back of Dylan Vose's car, I would be interested to see if like little pieces continue to fall off the back of that with the damage that it has got.
You know what I'm really interested for, if they have tire rubs. That's what I'm probably most interested for this new damage model. They have that aspect in it. I hope they do. Realistic, but you know how racing gets. They usually don't like doing things that make sense. So.
Well, they're looking at Codemaster's level of damage model, which is pretty impressive. So
we got a fight for second though. Look at this. Atkins is caught Trevarthen in a hurry, and he's battling it up with him.
Yeah, Ford versus Ford here as Atkins Jr. 31. He's not wasting any time here, is he? So
No.
I believe once he gets the clear on Trevarthen, and he kind of does, he will set his sights on Hollingsworth and try and get the lead away. But we all know passing is one, catching is one thing, passing is completely another. He completes the pass there, but Hollingsworth is not going to be such a pushover there when he gets to, if he gets to him.
Absolutely not. But the thing is, though, he's got to catch him, and he is a long ways up the road. We're talking only a second and a half almost. But with these cars and basically being flat out, that's a lot of distance and time. So this will be interesting to see how this shakes out with these guys. But Hollingsworth right now, he's checking out. He's okay with just flying at this pace.
Yeah, we're at that point in the run now where the 2019 draft package kind of falls off a bit, and they all start going back to the old way of racing, where it's just like trying to, well, it's not pack racing in the end, so it's just try and catch them if you can, basically.
Oh, absolutely, and this looks like the field's spread out. I mean, this is pretty typical NASCAR racing when you get into a long green flag run here. So it'll be interesting to see if we get to the point where we need green flag pit stops. I don't think we will, but you know, you never know. I think it's a pretty decent possibility.
We've just lost Robert Dudley for some reason.
Yeah,
I was back.
Okay, I was about to say he disappeared completely on my screen. I was about to wonder where he went.
Yeah, it's Charlie Woods. Interestingly, Charlie Woods is starting to reel in Marcus Hagman now. The gap was over 2 seconds. It's gone down to 1.7 seconds now. So Charlie Woods looking like he's going to be on the move here, and I think he might have saved enough tyres to try and catch up to that 6th spot now. Robert Dudley was ahead of him, obviously had that big blink out we just saw, and he's falling behind that little pack now as Kyle Zimmer and Mark Vega still battling it out between themselves, having a nice little in-race battle between themselves, so to speak.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, just looking through the field, and right now this looks like a string bean. There's people trying to king on the draft for the drivers, and you know, it's starting to equal out the pace. Still got the guys that have the older tire lapping about 2/10 slower than everybody else, but still, it's interesting to see how the pace is slowly dropping from the entire field here. As Hagman's going to make a move on Parks.
Yeah, to the inside he goes on the 3. And Hagman looks like he might get it, but that exit of turn 2 does seem a bit faster on the outside, and he's just proved that now. Stephen Park's going to have the better run going into turn 3, but Hagman has the preferred line. It's weird because it crosses over on the entrance to turn 3. On the exit of turn 4, well, the entrance to turn 3, the lower line is the fastest line. On the exit to turn 4, the high line is the fastest line. So weird corners around here, very weird.
Yeah, it sounds like Hagman's struggling to get to the throttle properly, especially when he's battling Parks there. So it'll be interesting to see if he changes his approach. He probably wants to really get by him. Probably not riding right now, but yeah, it sounds like he's just struggling with his throttle application. He's just struggling to get to the throttle, starting him on exit.
Yeah, I mean, we don't see Marcus Hagman in the stock car very often, but when we do, the sensational Swede becomes sensational, and he's pretty damn good behind the wheel. I mean, we've raced with him in endurance races, and we know exactly what he's like behind the wheel, but we don't really see him on ovals very often on this sim.
Interesting note there, Atkins was 2/10, actually just over a tenth faster that lap than Hollingsworth, so about almost identical that time. So Atkins is lapping at Hollingsworth pace right now, trying to catch him, and it looks like nobody's within 2/10 of those two, so they're definitely pushing hard, trying to. Actually, Wood is only a tenth away, so definitely some pace in the top two. Looks like everyone's just struggling to even get close at the moment.
Yeah, that was Atkins. The gap is now down to 1.3 seconds, but as Hollingsworth does actually respond and extend the gap again. So Hollingsworth knew that Atkins was coming and decided to up his pace even more. So good racing there from Hollingsworth. Good awareness from Hollingsworth, actually.
Yeah, for sure. He's putting up quick now, so it looks like he's starting to push a little bit harder than it was. I mean, the engine note sounds a little higher, and he just improved by a tenth again. So he's definitely pushing now. He knows the gap is coming down as Atkins came those 2/10, 10th slower that lap from him. So 10th faster from Hollingsworth, 10th slower from Atkins, as Hollingsworth is starting to realize, oh, I need to get the pressure back on here.
Absolutely. Going back to the battle between Stephen Parks and Marcus Hagman. Hagman looking to the outside down the backstretch here as they come into turn 3, and needs to kind of try and hang it on that outside to try and get the better speed out of turn 4. He will get the better speed out of turn 4, gets the nose out in front, down towards the line. Question is, will he get the clear? He will get the clear, but Park's going to have that faster line going into turn 1. Hagman gets the clear, so great move there by the Swede.
That was the best he was at on throttle application the entire time I've been watching him. So good for him. Maybe we're going through a graining process of the tires, because the lap times, especially for Hollingsworth and Atkins, they were starting to pick up there. So maybe we just went through a phase, Hackman caught a little bit sooner, and now he's back into the phase where he's lapping a little bit quicker.
Yeah, as Michael Atkins Jr. is still... Actually, Hollingsworth is starting to really pull away from Atkins again, as the gap now up to 1.6 seconds between the 42 and the 48. So definitely going to be interested to see how green flag pit stops fare, actually, as they will be coming up very soon here, Nate.
Yeah, for sure. And another thing is that they have 2 lap cars coming. They have Baker and Hollyfield, 2 damaged cars, as we saw in that second caution that we've had. So Hollifield with some pretty severe damage all around, and Hoot with some pretty severe front end damage. So they're pretty slow. They're lapping about 4/10 off of Hollifield. So they're going to be caught here in probably 10 laps right around this green flag pit stops come. So if Hollingsworth is smart here, he's going to pit right when he catches these guys, depending on how much fuel they have for sure.
Yeah, and we're looking at Hoot Baker there in the Virginia Tech Ford Mustang. Always a very conservative driver, unfortunately gets caught up in other people's messes, so Yeah, got caught up and another one today with Ron Holyfield, but he's still on the lead lap. But for how long? Because this man is chasing him down. Jeff Hollingsworth is coming at him pretty fast as we've still got all the drivers running tonight, apart from Mike Tipton, who obviously did not make the call for the green flag. He is your only... he did not start this race. Let's go back to Mark Vega. He's fallen off the back of Charlie Woods, and Charlie Woods actually putting Stephen Parks under pressure now. So Woods has actually reeled him in now, and now fancies that 6th spot now.
I was gonna say Woods was set the 3rd fastest time with Hollingsworth and Atkins the lap before that, so he set 36s. Leaders are running 34s. So I mean, it's pretty interesting to see the gap. Nobody's running at the 4s except for those two, and I don't know, people I see in the 5s, the top 5. That's it. So gap is relatively, you can tell with the positions how everyone's lapping at the moment.
Yeah, and everybody's lap times are very varied around here as Michael Atkins Jr. has actually set a lap time faster than Hollingsworth now. So looks like Atkins Jr. now has picked up his game as he starts to try and reel in the 42, and he is reeling him in now. So it's a game of cat and mouse at the moment between these two.
Yeah, that was a pretty poor lap from Hollingsworth last time, and he set another almost identical lap. So Atkins can't quite capitalize on it. He's only about 200 faster, but now we're seeing leaders dip into the 5s, and everybody goes back a 10th. So everyone's falling off at pretty much the exact same pace, which is pretty interesting to see. The fact that the gaps are still extending and at a consistent rate.
Yeah, and expect this man to be the first one down pit road. That is the 89 of Rob Jenkins, and remember he restarted this race on old tyres. He's currently starting his 44th lap on 45th lap on those tyres, so he'll be the first one to come down pit road alongside Robert Dudley, who has got 44 laps on his tyres. Only Ludwig will follow him too, and Ludwig, after starting 3rd, has fallen back down to P12. He's just not had since the start of the race, he's not had a very good race at all here tonight.
Yeah, it says that has not been as nice. Hollingfield becomes the first car now. It's actually 2 laps down, sorry.
Pasky has just made a pit stop.
Yep, I just noticed that too. I was about to say Pasky just made a pit stop. So it'll be interesting to see how his lap times are compared to the rest of the field. And if you're smart, you're going to be watching him and seeing what lap times he does. And if you decide it's big enough advantage to pit. So it'll be interesting to see what he sets his lap time compared to Hollingsworth.
Yeah, as he makes his way through 3 and 4 there. Gap still coming down between Hollingsworth and Atkins Jr. As Hollingsworth did get around Holyfield, so Holyfield now 2 laps down. That's how he's 2 laps down.
That's a full second. That's a full second advantage right there from Paskowicz's lap there to Hollingsworth. Actually 1.2. So
wow,
definitely a viable strategy call there. That's an impressive lap from Paskowicz. So that's going to make everyone start to think, hey, this actually is a viable strategy. I might do this.
Yeah. And Paskowicz has burned his fast repair.
He's setting 29.2s. We're talking the leader set in 35, 36s. So about a second and a half. He's about to fly by Vega here. Oh my goodness. Look at him go. It's like Need for Speed.
Yeah.
Oh,
Marcus Agman.
Whoa. He tried pitting there and he missed his pit.
Oh, and Paskowicz collected him.
He didn't get him, but man, that was close.
Oh, we got him. There's a bit of a wrinkle on the left front of his car.
I'm not seeing it. Maybe a little, but not much. I mean, he got away with a lot there. He's still setting 29.3s, so it's definitely not affecting him.
Hoot Baker on pit road right now. We actually do have wholesale pit stops going on right now. Vega coming in now. Hagman coming in as well. Hoot Baker's still in pit road. I believe he's serving a penalty, so unfortunate for him. Actually, he's even in the car. I don't see him in the car. So Vega down pit road now.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, he must have been serving penalty. He was in the pit box for a long time there.
So Hagman in pit road, Vega in pit road 2. Question is, when will the leaders bring it down? And I'm surprised these guys are bringing it down this early, especially with Rob Jenkins and Robert Dudley still circulating along with Ernie Ludwig. 50 laps on their tyres now.
If I'm Atkins, I'm pitting. I'm 100% pitting. This is your chance to leapfrog Hollingsworth. We're talking a second and a half a lap that you have over Hollingsworth. That's the gap right now between them. I'm surprised he hasn't pulled the trigger yet on this.
Yeah.
I mean, I get why he wouldn't want to do it because you're afraid he's going to extend this stint and he catches you back up. But like this is, I would say that this is probably worth it to short pit and jump him. That's what I would do. And I was curious to see if he actually ends up doing it. A couple guys can in a position to do that though.
Marcus Hagman right in front of him on fresher tyres, but Atkins still faster than Hagman, it seems. Well, I'm guessing Hagman's tyres aren't quite up to temperature, and there it goes. Hagman finally gets up to temperature and he's gone.
Oh, and he just smacks the wall there.
Oh, Hagman?
Yeah, he just smacked. I think you're behind a little bit, maybe.
Maybe. Still got the speed of that thing, though. As he comes out of turn 4, he's going to look to take one of his laps back off of Jeff Hollingsworth, and he will do. He's got much more fresher tyres than the 42, and he just sails on by. So Stephen Parks pit as well under the radar.
Jenkins is now pitting, so a couple guys that were further up, and we got some of the 2 tire guys. Jenkins for sure. How many laps did he do, by the way?
53.
53 laps. That's pretty impressive then from him.
Well, he didn't take 2 tyres, he stayed out on old tyres.
Oh yeah, he did, so pretty impressive.
So this is Rob Jenkins' second pit stop of the night, I believe. So,
and Atkins is pitting. So this is going to be, let's see what Hollingsworth does here. He wasn't very aggressive into the pits there, so.
Yeah, you can't be aggressive into the pits, otherwise it's going to send you sideways. And I think that's what happened to Hoot Baker. That put him 3 laps down now. So maybe Hoot Baker was using that penalty as an opportunity to repair some of that damage on his car as well.
Hollingsworth stays out, so Hollingsworth at the moment will not come out in the lead on track, so he's probably going to go all the way till the fuel runs dry if I had to take it.
Yep, so Hollingsworth your leader right now, as Atkins Jr. going to make his way out of pit road on those fresh tyres. He only lost 1 lap in that pit stop, so that'll tell you where the gap's going to be, as the second of our oldest tyre runners is in pit road. That will be Robert Dudley right now.
Ludwig's in 2, so those are the 2 guys that we were talking. The 3 that stayed or had the 2 tires that stayed out are now on pit road, and they've had their pit stops.
55 laps on their tyres when they came in, by the way.
It's pretty impressive, and if you're taking notes, that's pretty impressive to see that for sure.
Kyle Zimmer now in pit road along with Ron Holyfield. Holyfield already 2 laps down, let's not forget, but Kyle Zimmer looking for his pit stop, and he's probably more than likely going to burn his fast repair here now. And he's not. Shocker.
Okay.
There is Jeff Hollingsworth. Still out on track. He's already been passed by Kevin Paskowicz, who's still making his way up through the... Well, he's going to make his way up through the field considerably once he gets around. But no, actually, he didn't make any positions up through the pit stop, so maybe not as an inspired call as he first thought.
Yeah, but with the pace that he was setting, he definitely gained some racetrack position. Not exactly positions, but he definitely gained something there. I mean, you can just tell he's running away from Hollingsworth, who's the fastest guy on old tires. So he's setting 31s. Hollingsworth is setting about 35, 36s as he's slowing and he's coming in.
Yeah, so keep an eye on Michael Atkins Jr. See if he actually does get the undercut on him. Is Michael Trevathan going to follow him in as well? Charlie Woods decides to stay out, so he will get a lap led here tonight. As there goes Michael Atkins Jr. And that was to get his lap back, I believe. So,
yep, that was to get his lap back. So
Charlie Woods leads the lap. He gets a bonus point for this one tonight. So No Limit Racing taking all the bonus points here tonight, it seems.
Hollingsworth is now down and away, and it looks like Atkins is going to just fly by him.
Yeah. Here comes Atkins Jr., and the gap is going to be huge between these two.
Yeah, this is going to be over 4 seconds at least, so that just shows you how many laps difference was that? 4?
5.
5, so that's a straightaway gap by finishing 5 laps sooner. That's impressive.
And he was over, a second and a half back when the pit stop started?
He's about 1 3/4, 1.7. So that's really, really impressive to see that. I mean, he's well ahead, 5 odd seconds ahead.
Yeah, the fastest lap currently being occupied by Marcus Hagman with a 28.667. So Hagman finding some speed in that car as well. You did say that already though, so no surprise.
Yeah, I think you get more confident as he goes. So yeah, he's definitely improving as Hollingsworth sets a 29.6. So he's definitely closing the gap. He's going to close the gap this entire stint because he's got a little bit fresher tires as Atkins sets a 29.8. So that'll be interesting to see for sure how this works out with the gaps and how it shrinks up little by little here.
Yeah, Stephen Parks actually got the jump on Jeff Hollingsworth as well. He's up to second place legitimately, but he's going to be pitting way before Hollingsworth does. So maybe playing the fuel game, Stephen Parks. We don't know yet, but
perhaps. I mean, that's definitely viable. I mean, we're getting to the point where we know a fuel run's about 50 odd laps. I mean, they're all going to have to pit 2 more times. That's what we're figuring here. For sure. Oh, we got Smoker. What is up
that
with
is Kevin Paskowicz. Kevin Paskowicz in trouble here. What has happened to him? Let's go back and find out. As he lost the back end and was kind of helped around by Dylan Vose as well. No such trouble as no one was around him. He kept it in a straight line, but was very slow. Surprising that didn't bring out a caution. Atkins Jr. will be thanking his lucky stars that didn't happen, because he is 4.2 seconds to the good over Jeff Hollingsworth right now.
It's like those 2 cars are magnets tonight. They haven't separated at all. They wreck under yellow. They wreck on the straightaway. They just can't get apart from each other, can't they, Sam?
No, they can't. As Vose is in pit road, and I believe, yes, he has. He's burned his fast repair. So finally, Dylan Vose is going to have a fresh car underneath him.
Yeah, Hollingsworth just flew by Parks. Just flew by him. So, I mean, he's moving forward. He's 4 times faster. We got a caution.
We do, and that is involving Kevin Paskowicz again in the exact same spot where he's put on the last lap. Let's take a look and see what happened to Paskowicz here. And it looked like he hit that. Remember that bump we talked about when we went to Charlotte in the IndyCars? It looks like he went exactly over that point, and it just sent him around.
Yeah, he's off the throttle when he started to lose it there. Let's just talk about how close of a window Vega just shot through to miss that.
Yeah. Whoa. He did scrape the wall though.
That's still impressive. We need to get an in-car shot for that. That's still impressive.
Your wish is my command. So we're on board with Mark Vega, and he hits the wall, shoots the gap, and oh, that was close. That was close.
So, not quite sure who this benefits. This definitely benefits Park, who's definitely going to pit, but I'm interested to see who all pits here. It looks like everybody.
Yeah, and Hollingsworth actually caught Stephen Parks in the end there and took away that second place. But Parks definitely in the top 3, and Rob Jenkins still in the top 5. Remember, he was on those old tyres before the caution came out. Well, he was one of the first people to come down pit road. Well, he actually was one of the last people to come down pit road. And he still remains in the top 5, even though he was running on those old Flintstone tyres. So, good run for the man in the 89. As Dylan Vose has put his car on the hauler, he's our first retirement tonight.
Yeah, he's had a rough night. This night did not go the way he wanted to, for sure.
As Kevin Pasky staying out to get his lap back, so he'll be back on the lead lap. Jeff Hollingsworth going to win the race off pit road, though. Stephen Parks out second and Michael Atkins Jr. out third. So all that hard work from Michael Atkins Jr. undone because of this caution.
Yeah, that if you, the most furious person right now has got to be Atkins. I mean, he had a sizable lead, was going to take a long time to lose it, and then the caution comes out, and all the work is gone, just like that.
Yeah. I know another driver who puts all the effort in and then has it taken away from him like that. I'm alright, Nate. If Wednesday night's anything to go by. Oh, and Michigan. Not Michigan, was it? No, it wasn't Michigan. It was Charlotte.
Oh, it was Charlotte, yep.
Yeah. Memories.
I think you will be pleased to know I will be attending the next 2 races for sure in Top Fuel Racing, which will be pretty cool.
I'm not exactly surprised you'll be at Imola.
Well, I got a new little work schedule I was able to work out, so on Wednesday night should be a little bit more attainable for me.
So you'll be able to run the rest of the schedule then?
Looking more than likely, actually. It's looking pretty good that I will be able to. Hopefully, I'll have to end up working that on Wednesday, but you know what? I'll be able to put a much more competitive season this time around.
You've only missed 2 races as well, so.
Yeah, I only missed 2 races, and I would have been in a really good position if it wasn't for, that kind of. We won't talk about the netcode incident because I'll just get furious and upset about it, but. If you have any idea what we're talking about, you can go ahead and go to our YouTube page and go look up Wednesday's race. Look up the final lap and you'll know all about it.
Even Adam was furious about that. He was not impressed with that wreck at all.
He wasn't impressed with me flipping?
He wasn't impressed with the netcode. I
know. I mean, no, but that's the thing about iRacing, and we all know it, is that stuff like that does happen. It's a sim, so unfortunately, sims are never perfect. iRacing's not perfect. We can all admit to that, but just sucks for sure.
It's more perfect than most.
Yeah, it definitely is more perfect than most. And I think people give iRacing a hard rap for, not being perfect all the time. I mean, it's super hard to have, what do they have now, 40,000 members or something like that? They have a ridiculous amount now.
Yeah.
It's hard to make everyone's lives perfect. And they do a really good job, but, kind of want them to put some of that money they use on their subscriptions and tracks and cars to maybe improve their servers. Cough, cough, iRacing.
The damage model lately, so.
Yeah, I mean, they're making sensational progress. I'm not, we're not trashing iRacing here. They do a lot for us here at the Esports Broadcasting Network, and we broadcast specifically iRacing and stuff. But in order to be a fair broadcasting company, you kind of have to be critical if NBC do it with NASCAR. So, I mean, it's fair criticism, I would say. Would you agree with that?
Constructive criticism.
Constructive, and we're not bashing them for sure, but it helps maybe for them to know what a user and broadcasters would like to see from their platform for sure.
Yeah, so if next week's race comes from our factor next week, you'll understand why. Anyway, so they're coming out of turn 4. Nate, get us going for the second time tonight.
All right, Hollingsworth has got the field. I think this is the first time he's actually had control of the field tonight. He hasn't been lucky enough to have it yet. He's holding the field at a nice, steady speed of about 58, and he decides he wants to punch it now. The green flag is back underway, and we are racing again, as it looks like Atkins Jr. wants to get back to the lead here.
Yeah, and they were getting stacked up at the back there. It looked like a couple of drivers were getting a bit too eager before the green flag fell, but we get it going nevertheless, and we've got Michael Atkins Jr. really putting Hollingsworth under pressure. He's going to look to the inside now as they come towards turn 3. He's going to get the speed, he's going to get the line, and Parks down to the apron, saves it. Good save from Stephen Parks.
Got a little cheeky block there, it looked like, so he ain't going to be happy about that. I think if he gets to, he's going to send a message one way or another, so this will be interesting to see that battle progress.
Yeah, as we see, Rob Jenkins has moved up to 3rd as well, so good move for him. As Stephen Parks really, it looks like he's holding up about 4 cars there.
Yeah,
Vega's looking for a way by, but he just can't find a way. He just can't find a gap right now.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, that block he can really put Parks on the back foot here, and it looks like he's starting to get away from these guys a little bit, maybe release the pressure, but it'll be interesting to see if Parks gets at Jenkins, how he passes him here. I'm sure he's not very happy.
Not at all, as we're seeing side-by-side action between Atkins Jr. and Jeff Hollingsworth. Hollingsworth led that last lap as he managed to cross him over and get the position away. Look at Rob Jenkins, he's getting ever closer as well. We could be having position for the change of positions all around here as we've got racing all over the track right now as Rob Jenkins gets underneath Michael Atkins Jr. now. The Chevy driver going to dive it in. It's going to be Toyota versus Ford versus Chevy right now. That's what you want to see, a battle between the 3 manufacturers.
Absolutely, and it looks like right now the Toyota driver is definitely the strongest. As he's right now, he's just controlling the lines. He's moving in front of Jenkins, making them be more side by side, and then he'll come across and he'll go to Atkins. But right now, it looks like the safe driving between all 3 of these guys. As they're putting on a show for us here.
Yeah, as everybody's still pretty much bunched together as you'd expect. Still can't find a way past it. Looks like Trevathan now looking to the outside of Stephen Parks as he's going to try and make his way back up to the top 4. Again, very close between these. And once this draft package does wear off, as there goes Michael Atkins Jr. to the inside of Hollingsworth, really running that blue line at the bottom and uses it to his advantage and gets the lead away. So good move there by Atkins.
I don't know if you saw the initial move to get to the lane, but he literally, all 4 tires were off the black stuff, and they were on the red Toyota markings there. I mean, that was pretty gutsy. I mean, he runs all the way down on that blue curbing there, and he really uses it pretty well. So
you get an off track if you go down there.
Yeah, I'm surprised he hasn't got one. He may have got one, we just haven't, registered, him doing that a whole lot tonight. But it looks like Jenkins is on the back of Atkins, and we got a different battle for the lead here.
Starting to fall back now. He's already got Trevathan to his outside. So problems for Hollingsworth here as he's falling backwards. There goes Trevathan to his outside and takes away 3rd place. Jeff Hollingsworth in trouble right now.
I'm not entirely sure if this is just him relaxing a little bit, guessing how this front pack's going to work, or he's actually genuinely that off the pace. It'll be interesting to see how this goes further on here.
Yeah, so Michael Atkins Jr. now your leader with Rob Jenkins in 3rd. Michael Trevathan now starting to make his way forward. We're not even halfway yet, and we're seeing some long green flag runs here. Hopefully this continues. And with 14 drivers left on the track, I'm pretty sure it will. But now Rob Jenkins really putting Atkins Jr. under pressure now as they come out of turn 2 on lap 88 of 200 here. Now as they come into 3. Rob Jenkins not going to quite make it work as that faster line on the exit of turn 4 really coming into play for Atkins there.
Yeah, for sure. And it looks like he's just out muscling here at the moment. So It'll be interesting to see if he can continue this pace and kind of control the field for sure.
Yep. Side-by-side action a bit further back in the pack. We've got Kyle Zimmer and Charlie Wood side-by-side for the 8th spot. And Marcus Hagman not too far behind either. So this is a 3-car battle for that spot as well. So as we've got one spinner, that's Michael Trevarthen in trouble.
No. Wow. The fact he was able to keep that straight's pretty impressive.
Yeah, and he comes back on the track behind Kevin Pasky, which is going to take the apron way back out on track, but he's going to be falling back really far, and he's got to be praying for a caution as of this moment.
He pancaked Hollywood's front end, so it'll be interesting to see how that affects it. I mean, it's literally a pancake.
Oh wow. It looks like his car's got a snout now. So Hollingsworth is going to be underpowered now, because that is a lot of front end damage there.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how this ends up working out for him. He's going to be praying for a caution, fast repair, I'm sure.
Yeah, and he's still battling out with Stephen Parks. He's not giving up, but he can't push that car too hard now, because if he does, he might end up with a blown engine at this point.
Yeah, I'm wondering how his temps are. I mean, they can't be the coolest for sure. I mean, they have to. I mean, he pancaked the front of it. If he's got a perfectly fine race car for the most part, I'll be very impressed.
No, he's already got his teammate to his out. And Hollingsworth is going to bring a pit side, it seems. So Hollingsworth has decided that car is not good enough to race in. He's going to bring a pit side for an unscheduled pit stop and get that fast repair done.
So he's just praying this thing cycles out to the point where they can judge it perfectly and get a caution. So
have a look at the top two. They've absolutely checked out now. Stephen Parks is now 1.5 seconds off the lead. He's got a decent gap to Robert Dudley though, so no troubles for the three. But Atkins Jr. and Rob Jenkins have gone right now.
Yeah, they're checking out. They're gone. They're moving away. They're sent 29s. They're the only ones in the 29s. Everyone else is in the 30Os. So the leaders, whoever the leaders are about a tenth the faster than everybody else. No matter what, it seems like whoever it is.
Yeah, Hollingsworth is now just coming out of pit road, so he's taking the fast repair. He's got a fixed car again, but he's going to be a lap down, unfortunately, and he's going to be way off the pace when it comes to the Lucky Dog fight. So he has got a lot of making up to do now, the man in the 42. But the battle at the front still going on between Rob Jenkins and Michael Atkins Jr. Jenkins starting to fall away from the 48 a little bit. You gotta think apart. If it wasn't for Jeff Hollingsworth having that damage right now, is Kevin Pasky is out of the race now, by the way. He's decided to call it quits as yeah, if it wasn't for Jeff Hollingsworth falling a lap down like he has now, him and Atkins Jr. would be the class of the field right now.
I don't think Paskett's called it quits. I think he
dropped.
I think he dropped.
Oh, that's a shame. Look at this. We've got some side-by-side action for third places. Here comes Robert Dudley to the inside of Stephen Parks. Very close. And we're going to have another different winner here tonight, it seems, because it looks like Jeff Hollingsworth is out of contention. Michael Trevarthen is well off the pace now. And we could be in line for a different winner here tonight.
Yeah, for sure. That was pretty tight between Dudley and Parks there. They're racing it up back here for the third position. There's a good 6-7 car battle for this position.
Yeah, Parks leading this little pack here. Robert Dudley right there. Mark Vega right there, but he's got Kyle Zimmer to his outside. Zimmer going to try the outside pass coming out of turn 4, and he's going to get that move done. Great move there by the 25. And how you can make a move like that when you can't hear a thing is impressive to me. It's unbelievable.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, if I had to pick, he's my driver of the night. Just because, you know, that's such a hard ability to master. And I mean, it helps that, you know, he's not used to sound and all that. But it's still got to be super hard.
And with a damaged car as well.
Absolutely. That's even more impressive that he's actually being this competitive, being the most damaged car out of the entire bunch.
Yep, and we're about to hit halfway here. We're going to be on lap 100 at the end of this lap, so we're not going to be quite halfway, but the next lap we will be. So, definitely everybody getting spread out now. Stephen Park's still leading this little pack here for third place. Robert Dudley in fourth. Carl Zimmer in fifth. Mark Vegas falling away slightly. Look at Charlie Woods and Marcus Hagman. They're side by side for seventh place now. It looks like Charlie Woods might get the run off here, but look at that high. An advantage for Hagman, but not enough of an advantage. We might get it now coming out of four.
I think they just want to stay side by side. I think they just want to have fun.
It sounds like the KP had a power cut, from what I'm reading in the chat on Facebook. So, unfortunate for KP. They're still side by side between Dudley and Parks as they almost come to blows. They're coming out of turn 4. Kyle Zimmer going to get in on the action as well.
Sam, we might be having an issue in TeamSpeak. I'm going to go investigate it.
Okay. As we're going to cut to a commercial right now. We've got a few issues going on right here. We'll be back in just a second with more racing action. Don't go anywhere as we go side by side for the first time tonight.
It's Top Fuel Racing, live every Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern.
iRacing, you wanted the best, you got them 4 abreast. Often imitated, never duplicated. The greatest show on dirt, the World of Outlaws.
And we're back live here at Charlotte. We've just had the caution come out here on the track, and I believe we will find out who it was. I think it might have been Mark Vega involved in that, and it was. Let's take a look and see what happened here. Oh, it was Kyle Zimmer involved and Robert Dudley involved as well. Marcus Hagman involved. And Jeff Hollingsworth involved as well. But it started with Kyle Zimmer. Let's go back and see what happened to him. Got into the wall, got turned by Robert Dudley. Dudley trying to save it looks like. Got into the side. Take a look at it there. Tried to save it and went straight back up the track. And slammed into the side of Mark Vega. Jeff Hollingsworth trying to avoid that and gets more front end damage, hits into the side of his own teammate, and unfortunately brings out caution number 4 here. And unfortunate accident there involving 4 drivers.
Yeah, that's definitely unfortunate situation there. That took out a lot of good drivers, especially Hollingsworth. Hopefully he makes his fast repair, he gets back up and is competitive here. He's still a lot down though, so we'll see how that works out for him. Yeah,
he won't get the lucky dog unfortunately because of that, and the lucky dog will fall to one Mr. Hoot Baker. Oh, maybe it won't because he's not. Oh, Hoot Baker was 2 laps down, was he?
Who was?
Hoot Baker.
Yeah, I believe he was. Yeah, he was 2 laps down. He's now 1, I believe.
So Michael Atkins Jr. winning the race off pit road. He will be your leader. Rob Jenkins in 2nd. Stephen Parks in 3rd. Charlie Woods in 4th. And Marcus Hagman in 5th. You got to think though. Robert Dudley was kind of the cause. Yeah, Zimmer got into the wall, but Dudley helped Zimmer around and then tried to overcorrect it and just absolutely slammed into the side of Mark Vega there.
Yeah, I mean that's the product of tough racing and close racing too. I mean, you could make the argument that crash was never going to be that big if Dudley was there, but you can also make the argument that he shouldn't have hit the wall in the first place. So I mean, really just a racing deal. Nothing to be upset about. You know, they'll get over it, I believe. So shouldn't be no hard feelings between anybody there really. Just one of those deals, I guess.
Okay, well, apologies for having to step away there. We had a problem with the TeamSpeak server, which has been resolved now, thanks to Nate. So that's all sorted now. So
go away, you trolls.
Yeah. But we're back to the racing now, and Ernie Ludwig looking for a wave around here. He was 1 lap down. He will be 9 laps on his tyres, so he must have pitted just before the caution came out. So it looked like we were about to get green flag pit stops underway when that happened. Jeff Hollingsworth is out of the race. Oh no, he's back in now. What the hell happened there?
Probably the backwards internet he's on.
Oh yeah. While we're doing that, I'm gonna try and fix my cameras because they are pissing me off right now. There's one part where the cars are warping through the walls, so I'm gonna try and fix that now if I can. If it'll let me. As they come out of turn 4, down towards the line once again. Under caution number 4 here, a 4-car accident involving Robert Dudley, Kyle Zimmer, Mark Vega, and Jeff Hollingsworth. Pretty big pile-up, actually. As Marcus Hagman is in pit road. That's what I wanted to fix. Give me 2 seconds, ladies and gentlemen, as I Take away the sticker for a second. That's it. Should be alright now. But anyway, as we... Oh, for goodness sake. Look to go back to green here. I'm just going to reload my... And yeah, everybody back racing now as I'm still trying to figure out life right now, so bear with me 1 second as Michael Ackers Jr. getting out to a decent restart here as Stephen Parks and Rob Jenkins find it out for the top 2 spots here.
Yeah, they got a great run there on Atkins, so this is going to be interesting to see how this works out going down the backstretch here. I was like, well, they're on the front stretch. Who's going to play on the backstretch?
And down the backstretch they come as the... And Rob Jenkins going to try and go underneath here. Don't make me time you out, Tyler Dudley. Just because your dad's racing, don't mean I won't time you out. Sorry, I'm referring to someone in the live chat, so... So, back underneath, Michael Ackers Jr. has still got Stephen Parks to his outside, Michael Trevarthen there in 4th place, and Carl Zimmer, despite that big wreck he had to bring out the last caution, is up to the top 5 already.
That's pretty impressive, and you got a fresh car though, so that helps a lot to have a fresh car. So it'll be interesting to see what he does there. By the way, I just have to say this, one of my all-time favorite paints right there.
Yeah, the G-Mac paint scheme. Take a look at that there while he's circulating around the track. Yeah, the direct.com. It does say G-Mac on the back, right?
Yeah, it does. This is his alternate scheme he used to run. So just one of those. It's a beautiful blue. Oh, it's just one of those paints that you remember as a kid and you always remember it. This is it right here.
Yeah, it's a very nice paint scheme there. I still like the Mountain Dew paint scheme of Michael Ackers Jr.'s car.
Yeah, that's pretty cool to see that from him too as well. I mean, but I gotta say, Zimmer's paint is the paint of the night. We should make a paint of the night award.
Yeah. Mark Vega's instantly disqualified because he's wearing a rowdy paint scheme, so... So is Marcus Hagman. Anyone that drives a Carl Busch paint scheme is instantly disqualified.
Yeah, but hopefully none of the top 5 is disqualified here. They got a great battle going on.
Yeah. And Stephen Parks' paint scheme looks like an Austin Dillon paint scheme with that 3 the way it is.
I think it's supposed to be that way. Whoa! He got really cool.
That was close. As that's going to give the advantage to Rob Jenkins now. Jenkins going to move up to 2nd. That's not going to stop Stephen Parks from diving it in though. As we've got one coming down pit road. Hollingsworth again. So more problems for the 42. This second half of the race is just not going his way, is it?
Oh no, it could not have snowballed harder than I think it could have possibly done. I mean, that's pretty hard to come back from, and you know, it sucks, but I mean, it'll be interesting to see if he even could have come back out or if he fights through it here.
Now, speaking of fighting, look at Carl Zimmer now up to 3rd place. Made the outside pass on Stephen Parks. Zimmer is looking very impressive right now as there goes Rob Jenkins now to the inside of Michael Ackers Jr. Ackers Jr. looks like he has that outside line nailed down because he's able to get so much speed on the outside of that turn when he comes out of it.
Yeah, absolutely. So he's looking really strong at the moment. It'll be interesting to see if he can catch these two. and pass him. I think he's got the capabilities. Looks like he's got the race car to do it for sure.
Absolutely. Parks under pressure from Michael Javarthan now. So hopefully that won't hurt him too much. Hopefully he doesn't fall too far back. He's had an impressive run here tonight. Ron Holyfield back on the lead lap. He's already challenging for the top 5. He's going to look to the inside of Michael Javarthan. Good recovery from Holyfield. He was 2 laps down at one point. Now finds himself back on the lead lap, running safely inside the top 10, and he's challenging for the top 5 now, and he's going to take it away. Ron Holyfield onto the...
This man was what? He went 2 laps down at what, lap 12 or 13 or something like that?
Yeah.
Took him 100 laps to get back, but hey, he's back.
Absolutely, as Charlie Wood's looking to the inside of Javarthan. Javarthan falling backwards again. He knows it's not time to go yet. That's why he's falling back. Probably the most patient man in the field right now. He'll just happily fall to the back and let everybody run their own races, and then he'll pick up the pieces at the end.
Yeah, he's just kind of just sitting there, minding his own business, P's and Q's, just kind of just sitting at the moment. He got 75 laps to go still, so plenty of time.
Yep, and around the track like Charlotte, if they stay green, those 75 laps will go by very quickly. One man who's not going very quickly right now is the man currently in pit road. That is Jeff Hollinsworth. He's been in pit road for nearly 2.5 minutes now. I think his night is pretty much done at this point now.
Yeah, I think he's called it. So it's unfortunate. He definitely deserved better than what he got, but that's the name of the game sometimes. You get those kind of shots, and it sucks for sure. But we'll hopefully see him back again. Hopefully he'll come back stronger and have a better run next time.
Well, we're off next week, so it won't be next week.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, so... But the week after... Interesting track to come back to.
Absolutely.
Meanwhile, look at Carl Zimmer. He fancies second place now. He's moved up to third, so... He's not done passing people, has he? The 25, really on the move right now. He seems to have the strongest car out there right now, apart from Michael Atkins Jr.
I think he's got a case for the strongest car out there. He's been catching these two. He caught those two pretty quickly. I think he's got a case right now for being one of the stronger guys out there.
Yeah. Very impressive driver is the man in the 25. Then again, Rob Jenkins and Michael Atkins Jr. No slouches themselves. That's why they're at the front with him. And look at this battle behind them for P4. There is Stephen Parks there. Ron Holyfield in 5th. Charlie Woods in 6th. Javarthan in 7th. Marcus Hagman in 8th. And behind Mark Vega, who's 2 laps down now, actually. So Vega hoping to do a Holyfield and hope for more cautions to get himself back up there.
Yeah, for sure. But I think a couple guys that really aren't hoping for cautions is definitely Atkins. Probably the top 3 for sure. And I probably... Parks, he's looking pretty decent to where he's at right now. A couple guys, probably the guy that wants to caution the most right now is Holyfield for sure, though.
I'd love a caution right now, but still holding strong, still challenging for that 4th spot. He's hoping history doesn't repeat itself, because every time he's in a pack and challenging for positions, he gets bumped out. Like he did before, and it's almost the same thing again between Parks and Holyfield, but Holyfield going to dive it in there, and it looks like Stephen Parks is going to give it up. Holyfield now up to P4.
Yep, good strong move from him there. It looks like he's made that move with confidence. So it'll be interesting to see if he can catch this pack that's up in front of him. But the time will tell. Hopefully he's hoping that this run either goes a long way or a short way. He doesn't want it to be one of those middle runs for sure.
Absolutely. Look at Stephen Parks on the outside, still not quite giving it up. He gave up the trap position there, but definitely running strong on that high line. Charlie Woods, Javarthan just looking on with a bucket of popcorn and hoping something drastic happens between these two in the next couple of laps.
Yeah, for sure. He's just sitting there eating the popcorn, hoping something happens. About everyone in that backpack is kind of just hoping something else happens, but not involving them. That's all they care about. They don't want it to involve them.
Yeah, they wanted to involve this top 3 right here. It looks like Michael Atkins Jr. is starting to stretch his legs a bit now. He's already almost 0.4 of a second to the... He is 0.4 of a second to the good over Rob Jenkins, who's still got his mirrors full of that 25 car of Kyle Zimmer. And they're a full half a back straight away ahead of Stephen Parks, who's managed to make his way back up to 4th place.
Ooh, look at this. We almost got blocking in the 2nd place here.
Yeah, Zimmer gonna go try and squeeze the gap though. Not gonna make it work. He realizes he was running out of room and backed out of it. Good awareness there by the 25. He's not letting him go. Zimmer almost hits the wall coming out of 4. As Hollingsworth has... He said to his crew chief, "No, cut the engine, I'm out."
Yeah, kind of Martin Truex last year style kind of deal.
Yeah, cut the engine, I'm done. Stephen Parks starting to get away from Ron Holyfield now, as Holyfield looks like he's starting to hold up Charlie Woods and Michael Javarthan now. And definitely some interesting racing there. Rob Jenkins still doing everything he can to hold off Kyle Zimmer. And all it takes is one mistake. If you make that one mistake, you're in trouble.
You want to know why I'm so impressed?
Why?
Is that he can't hear his tires, can't tell how much more input he needs to put in, and he's running at a pace that's up there with the fastest ones here.
And the fact that he needs a spotter as well.
Well, I'm sure he's got a visual aid for a spotter.
Oh yeah, because you can have the writing on the screen, so yeah.
And a little plug from our sponsors here, iFlag, the iRacing there, iFlags iRacing. They have a little thing in there that you can make it light up if you've got a car on the left or right side of you.
Oh.
Yeah, so pretty handy thing.
Well, you have one, so you should know.
Yeah, I use it. It's actually quite handy. It's like a bright purple light that goes on either the left or the right hand side. So, I mean, I usually run it when I race, and it's pretty handy, to say the least. As Zimmer for sure knows that he's got a guy on his outside right now. I don't know if it's clear, but yeah.
So it's an impressive piece of kit then.
You get a lot of bang for your buck, and we like to plug our sponsors here. But yeah, it's one of the best updates I've had to the rig I've had in a long time. You're getting an iPad for it soon though, so it'll be interesting to use some different things with that. So it'll be a blast to use, and hopefully do some cool things with the rig here at home, but we'll also bring you some cool things here on the network. Absolutely.
So make sure you go to iRacingIFlag.com, put in the promo code esports 2019 and get yourself 15% off your purchase. Definitely took advantage of that.
We're not generous enough to give you 50% off. Well, we're
15.
definitely generous to give. Well, you said 50 first, so I had to clarify. We're only doing 15, 1-5, not 5-0.
Yeah, I wish we could though. I mean, we might put them out of business, but you know.
Tell you what, we're about to 5-0 laps to go here. We're getting close.
Yeah, and we should be steadily approaching green flag pit stops, or at some point we will be.
Can you see what the leaders are on their tires at there?
No, because I had to restart.
Oh,
yeah. It's saying they've got 141 laps on the tires right now.
Well, we're pretty sure they have not done that. At least I'm pretty sure they haven't. Are you sure of that?
I'm pretty sure. They've already made at least 4 pit stops already tonight, so...
Yeah, I'm sure.
So... Marcus Hagman still has the fastest lap of the race, by the way, with a 28.667. So he's been absolutely on fire, but still not able to make up the positions. He's still sitting behind Mark Vega. And look at... Actually, just to kind of switch over to Stephen Parks, he's now got Charlie Woods all over the back of his number 3 machine.
Yeah, just different guy, same team, different guy there, and it looks like those two are actually breaking away a little bit, seems like.
Yeah. Charlie Wood's going to try and look to the inside. No Limit Racing out in force here tonight. The team boss, Chris Walker, off doing other things, obviously, because he wasn't keen on running this series, so... But we love to see him in Top Fuel anyway, so that's good enough.
And it's not been their night for sure, though. I mean, that's for sure, with Dudley and Hollingsworth's struggles. Hollyfield had a rough incident there, so this has not been their night. The guy that's been flying to flex them is Wood for sure. But, yeah, tough night for those guys.
Yeah, and they've even been affected on TeamSpeak as well, so it's just really isn't their night tonight.
Not their night.
I shouldn't be laughing, but... You know, if you're not laughing, you're crying. Anyway, just want to point out the top 5 looks like this in manufacturer form. Ford leading the way, and then the rest of the top 5 is Mustang, Camaro, and then 6th place is Camaro, and then the 7th place is you're going back to another manufacturer, and that's another Ford Mustang. The Toyotas are getting absolutely humbled here tonight.
They're not doing so hot, so that's for sure. But definitely Chevy power seems to be the way for sure. Even though we have a Ford leading this thing, but
yeah. And we are 55 laps to go, mate. That 54 laps to go as they cross the line. Looking at Rob Jenkins now. He's actually put a gap on Carl Zimmer. It looks like he's starting to reel in Michael Atkins Jr. again now. So Rob Jenkins, looks like those tyres have come to life again.
And here's where we're thinking we're getting close to green flag pit stops. We said what? That the Mark and Dudley, they made it 55 laps.
Yeah.
Their first time. We're in that window.
Yeah.
So is it worth it to short pit? If I'm Zimmer, I'm pitting 100% in the next 10 laps.
Yeah.
And that's even 100%. If you're Mark, you gotta look at Zimmer and cover him. And if you're Atkins, you're kind of just reacting at this point.
It's actually Rob, not Mark.
Oh yeah. So, I get him confused all the time, but yeah. I mean, right now Zimmer's in the driver's seat if he wants to be in the driver's seat. It's not usually it's the leader that kind of controls their second place. It's actually Zimmer because we saw what. Second and a half to what 1.7 minutes.
Yeah.
And he's well in that window for sure.
Well, yeah, he's less than a second behind Michael Atkins Jr. So I was just seeing a pass for 4th place in the background there. Charlie Woods now up to 4th place after getting around Stephen Parks. That's a good move there that's an important move actually for Woods.
And if I'm Woods, I'm just focused on getting going here. That's all I'm focused on. Trevarthen looking like he's gonna make a nice move around the outside here, maybe.
Yep. As we are at the line, we will be 50 laps to go now, so we are 3/4 distance. And I think Trevarthen's realised now is the time to get moving.
And if you're in the backpack, you're thinking about, short pitting. Maybe getting a little bit of a track advantage here.
And here we go. We've got pit stops underway. Ernie Ludwig is in pit road, and Stephen Parks, the first of the leaders to bring it down.
He can make the leaders react just by that alone. It'll be interesting to see if they do.
Yep. Remember, Stephen Parks was one of the people up in the sharp end of the field at the start of this race, so he'll be looking to maybe gain an advantage. He was 4 seconds back from Kyle Zimmer when he went into pit road, so
as Hagman now pits.
So green flag pit stops are underway. They know they've got 50 laps to go. And this tank will only go a maximum of 50 laps. So they're going to make it right to the end now. They can all make it if they pit here now.
Yep, and it looks like this is going to be interesting to see how this all shapes out. I mean, top 3 don't take there. See if Woods takes. Nope, Woods don't take. So nobody's looking like they're going to take this time. But, I mean, it looking pretty like this could come down to a well-timed pit stop for the win here. Now look at this for the lead.
Yeah, Rob Jenkins trying to look for the passes for the lead, but they've all bunched up again, this top 3. Let's see who's going to take the advantage here, but I'm guessing you got to assume that they're going to hold stations until the pit stops come for these 3, because if you try and take track position away, it might hurt you through the pit stops.
Yeah, but I mean, if I'm Zimmer, I'm thinking about that fat 1.5 seconds I can get on these guys. Just 1 lap. I'm thinking about that. I'm thinking I'm pitting, but I think they're trying to get as much as they can out of the tank right now, so they don't have to have a lighter car, fresher tires at the end. Maybe that's probably the only thing I can think of that they're hanging out here for.
Yep. So these 3 are lockstep right now. Charlie Woods, Michael Travata and Ron Holyfield staying out, as well as Mark Vega, but Vega's 2 laps down, so not really a factor at the moment. So we're down to 12 drivers, so no surprise that we're staying green, probably going to be staying green to the end, barring a...
Look at Ludwig just slicing through
Yeah.
there.
He just came out of nowhere because he was way back at one point, and then all of a sudden he's right there. So Ludwig going to move to the inside of Rob Jenkins, get his lap back off him, and now he's going to focus on the leader to get himself around. I will say that is a very pretty car that Ernie Ludwig's driving.
Absolutely. It's a shame it's a little beat up for sure, but
He's made it look like a BMW.
Yeah, I mean, a pretty car a BMW is for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, like the M8 with that black mark up the middle of the hood. He made it look like that.
Yeah, it really did, yeah.
Anyway, Ernie Ludwig now 1 lap down after... And you got to think that the longer these guys stay out, the more it plays into Stephen Park's hands, because he's already made his pit stop. And he's already up to speed and got the heat in those tyres, and he's good to make it to the end. The longer these guys stay out, they're going to get slower and slower. And you don't want Stephen Parks to take that lap away and get back on the lead lap, because that'll spell disaster for the top 3.
I don't know if they know that he pitted and they're not reacting to him yet. Maybe that might be the case. Oh, here comes Jenkins.
So the first of the top 3 to bring it down. He's going to lock it down and get safely into pit road, so no dramas there for the 89. So your first of the top 3 to bring it down. We were expecting it to be Kyle Zimmer actually, but he decides not to bring it down. But though, by judging by the way he's backed off a bit, he might be bringing it down this time by. And I'm wrong. Okay.
Travata's pitting though, so.
Yeah. So he's looking for his pit stop as Stephen Parks gets his lap back off. Effective for Stephen Parks right now. He is looking to get the jump on the people that he was fighting with before. He's already got the jump on Ron Holyfield.
Blew by Jenkins. Blew by him.
Yeah.
And Hackman's past Jenkins, so that just shows you that there's a huge advantage in that. Woods is Zimmer's in the pits.
Yeah, and Woods is as well. So let's see. He's going to be the man to watch go into this final portion of the race. We have 40 laps to go here, actually. So going to be interested to see how this plays out.
That gets us bringing it down, just how we thought.
Which means Carl Zimmer's not going to lose a lap. So this might play into his hands here, actually. As there goes Stephen Parks, actually. So Stephen Parks, as I predicted, gaining some serious positions there after being 4 seconds off the pace of the leaders. He's now finding himself in this fight for the race win now.
Yeah, but you also got to realize he's got a little bit over tires. So remember that first stint where we had guys that took 2 tires? It's going to be about that kind of advantage for sure. As Zimmer lost a lot of time there to Jenkins and Atkinson too.
Yeah. Rob Jenkins might be one of the favourites, as Marcus Hagman is now up to second as well. So Stephen Parks, your leader, and he has decisive lead over these guys as well. So actually, I take it back. He's only coming across the line, and Rob Jenkins is already there going for the tri-oval, so a quad oval, sorry.
Yeah, this could be really interesting to see the least on how this is going to shape out here coming towards the end. I'll tell you who really wants a caution. It's that guy that's in the lead. He really wants a caution to be really mad.
Yeah, as Rob Jenkins going to put the move on Marcus Hagman here to move his way up to second. So Rob Jenkins could be in the catbird seat here if the caution doesn't come out. He is going to be the one to catch at this point of the race now. So definitely an inspired decision to bring him down pit road first. And he's left himself with a pretty clear advantage here now.
Man, I could have swore some driver slash broadcaster said the first guy to pit was going to win the race. And, oh, man, I wonder who that was, Sam.
Yeah, it was me, wasn't it?
Oh, what? I don't know about that.
Yeah, good call on that one, mate.
Yeah, this looks like this is the call that could have won. I mean, this definitely put Parks in a better position than what he was in, for sure. But of the 3 guys that were in that top 3, look at the guy that pitted first. Look where he's at. And look where he's coming up to here.
The Parks has done a good job, but at this point, Rob Jenkins is going to be way too OP for him now.
Yep, he's going to just fly right by. There's nothing Parks can do. He's just going to watch him go by. 35 to go. He's just got to hope that there's a yellow soon. That's all he's got to hope for right now.
Yep, as there goes Rob Jenkins, now up to the lead. I believe, well, he's led 7 laps, so maybe not. Well, this is the first time he's legitimately led the race tonight.
Tell you who this really worked out for is Hagman. Hagman had he was running back at what, 9th?
Yeah.
9th position, so he's up to P2. I don't think he's going to fall that hard through the field, so this really worked out for him.
Your biggest loser in this one was actually Ron Holyfield.
Yeah, he didn't do so hot with this, but I think the actual big loser was definitely Atkins for sure.
Yeah, you didn't want to be the last one to pit. That always plays against you. And it's definitely shown that there. It looks like Atkins is on fresher tyres. We've got a hoot. What's that, hoot?
Yeah, that was hoot.
Keeps it on the grass. Hopefully he doesn't spin it coming back up on track, and he doesn't. So good save there by Hoot Baker, but he is going to be severely hampered with that damage now. That right side of the car is absolutely pancaked, and I believe that car is leaning to the right as well, so that suggests he might have suspension damage.
So Zimmer just set his fastest lap of the race right there, 28.7. Not the fastest lap of the race at all, but it's definitely something to consider.
Yeah, Marcus Hagman still has the fastest lap of the race.
Tell you what, he is flying up the Parks now.
Yeah. He wasn't even in the picture a couple of laps ago.
You know what? This race might not be over yet.
You know what? You might be right. Because Michael Atkins Jr. is right there as well. So Marcus Hagman are pretty much a sit and duck at this point, as he fell away very quickly, and he's already got Trevarthen to his inside. Hagman falling back quickly. I'm thinking the same fate might fall upon Stephen Parks as he gets passed by Michael Atkins Jr.
So Zimmer set a lap 4 tenths faster than Jenkins, and Atkins set a lap 2 tenths faster than Zimmer. So 6 tenths the gap in terms of lap time between Atkins and Jenkins there.
And with 30 laps to go, there's still plenty of racing left to do.
3/10 that time.
This is going to be close, I think, actually,
Yeah,
now that I think about it.
It's going to be an accordion. You're going to see these guys in second and third come up to Jenkins here. And, I mean, this is going to be good.
Yeah.
I'll tell you who's in the captain's seat. It's definitely Zimmer. He's got to have Atkins pass him, and he's catching Jenkins. This is going to be really good, and they're going to catch him about 10 to go.
They might catch him before that, I reckon.
3/10 a lap. Yeah, it's going to be right around 10 seconds. I mean, a 2.1 second gap, 3/10 a lap, about 7 laps, 172. You're probably right. Yep, probably a little bit sooner than that. But you also got to figure that these guys are also going to start dropping off here sooner or later.
Yeah. Second place, Michael Atkins Jr. just playing the waiting game right now. He's in third. Michael Travatha now up to fourth after getting around Stephen Parks. Parks, compared to these guys, he's on pretty much dead, really old tyres right now, so no surprise that he is falling by the wayside very quickly.
Yeah, well, we talked, and we said that strategy only worked if we had a quick caution, and it just did not work out for him yet.
True that, true that.
So Jenkins was only worse by about a 10th that lap. So you know, it looks like Jenkins is starting to steady out. These guys are starting to plateau. Who knows? This race might come down to the wire.
And the gap's still coming down between Zimmer and Jenkins, though, as Michael Atkins Jr. is actually right on the back of Zimmer now. And he's going to look to the inside.
Going to be academic here.
Yeah.
So now Zimmer just needs to hang on. That's what he needs to do. Just hang on. He can do that. Ooh, look at this. He ain't done yet.
No, he's not giving it up. You think about it, there's only 1 lap difference between these two, so they're pretty much even right now. When it comes to tyre wear, it depends on how much you've saved your tyres.
That's the first lap that Jenkins pulled on these two, but that was because they've been battling so hard. So, I mean, he wants a shot to win. He just needs to kind of hold station at the moment.
Yep, so we're still watching this battle between Atkins Jr. and Kyle Zimmer. Atkins Jr. now up to second place. Can he now focus on Rob Jenkins and get away from Zimmer? That's the question. Zimmer not letting him get away, though. Actually, it might be now.
3/10. That's how much Atkins gained that time. So
yeah.
This fight is about 5 laps away from meeting here.
And while all this is going on, let's spare a thought for Mike. Not that far back either. He's only 2.1 seconds behind Kyle Zimmer, and he is catching Kyle Zimmer as well.
I think Travatha pitted. He pitted the same lap as one of these three. I don't know which lap it was, but he pitted the same lap as one of the three.
They all
here.
pitted on separate laps. Rob Jenkins pitted 19 laps ago. Michael Travatha pitted 18 laps ago. Kyle Zimmer pitted 17 laps ago. And Michael Atkins Jr. pitted 16 laps ago. So they all had a lap each to pit. Which is really, really both weird and interesting at the same time.
Only a 10th that time, so I mean maybe it's just the fact that they're starting to slow down. Those guys in second and third. But hopefully we got a fight here, and I think we will. It's just a matter of what point are we going to get it at.
Yeah, as Jenkins comes out of 4, no troubles for him, but you see in the background there, those are the guys that are chasing him, Michael Atkins Jr. and Kyle Zimmer. The gap is coming down ever so slightly. And the gap is coming down as well from Michael Travatha, and he's starting to reel in the top 3 as well, so by the end of this all, if it plays out the way it's looking like, it looks like Michael Travatha might be making this a 4-car battle for the lead.
Yep, might be here. I mean, I think he's a little far back making a 4-car battle for the lead, but he's definitely going to try for sure. I think Atkins is going to get here in about 5 laps. I mean, I've been saying that probably for the last 3 laps, but I think it's definitely coming.
Well, we're 20 to go now, so, and Rob Jenkins isn't there, so we might get to him with 10 laps to go. You never know.
And at this point, Zimmer is running slightly quicker than Jenkins. He's not quite running even with him, but he's running about the same pace, and Atkins is about 10th lap faster than both those two. So this is going to be definitely interesting. But Jenkins' time is falling off pretty considerably here.
We've got another battle further back between. Oh, it's not really a battle, but there's half a second between Stephen Parks and Marcus Hagman. These two are on the oldest tyres, along with Ernie Ludwig.
And Charlie Woods, I think, is going to get a top 5 out of this. He's got definitely fresher tires than those two combined, so he's definitely going to get a top 5 out of this, the way this is shaking.
Yeah, and he's still got a clean car. He's not been in any incidents so far tonight, so kudos to him. Caution, so not really surprising.
Another 2/10 there taken out, so he's definitely going to be here soon. It's just a matter of when he gets here, and it seems like there's a middle guy. So it was relative to the way they pitted. It's how it's shaking out right now.
Yep. Michael Atkins Jr. within a second now of Rob Jenkins. I nearly made the same mistake there. And it's going to come down between these two. Kyle Zimmer looks like he's fallen off the pace ever so slightly, and he's dropped back a bit now. So he might be just settling for third right now, but Michael Atkins Jr. definitely is not settling for second place. And I can't really say I blame him.
Look at this lap traffic. That definitely did not help Jenkins' cause at all.
It depends on how quickly Atkins Jr. can get around Ludwig. And he can't get around him as quickly as Jenkins did.
Man.
So that's going to cost Atkins a bit of time there, but he's still gaining ever so slightly. He gained a lot there actually. He used the toe off Ernie Ludwig to get around to gain some time. So he might not have been as quick to get around Ludwig, but he still definitely used that toe to gain some speed there.
Oh, he's got 15 to go. He's going to get him. I mean, that's not I would have even a thought in my head right now. He's definitely going to get him. It's just a matter of how he passes him and when he passes him. That's the only question I really got right now.
Yeah, as they come down the backstretch. But we always say, catching is one thing, passing is another, and Rob Jenkins is not an easy person to get around. You know, Rob...
All Zimmer's hoping for right now is, hey, you guys battle for 5 laps. I'll catch up to you. Don't worry about that. That's all he's hoping for right now. He's catching Jenkins quite a bit there. He caught him by about 3/10 that lap.
Yeah. And Zimmer made easy work of Ludwig compared to the top two, so Zimmer's still watching there. He's got his own bucket of popcorn now.
Oh, Jenkins is high. Oh, here he comes. Here he comes. Here he comes.
Yeah, he's right on the tail of him now.
Oh, man.
Side by side, Michael Atkins Jr. is finally caught him. There's almost contact between the two. But Michael Atkins Jr., Rob Jenkins going to get the better run out. It's going to be a point here.
He tried. He tried with all his might. He really did. When you have a guy that's on that much pressure tires, it's just inevitable. And he's going to fall a little bit back here. It's going to be interesting to see if he can stay with him. But I don't think he's going to be able to.
Yep, so with 12 laps to go, it's going to be... It's going to need a caution now to tighten these top 3 up now. Or top 4 actually, because they're all to... There's Michael Trevarton's there in the background as you just saw. So Michael Atkins Jr. on those fresher tyres, unless the wheels fall off it, you got to think he's the favourite to win this one now as we're getting closer to 10 laps to go here, Nate.
Yep, for sure. I mean, unless if he makes a dramatic mistake, this is all him. He just needs to run a lap time. He needs to put a target lap time in his head. He needs to run it every lap. That's what he needs to do right now. So he just focused on the car ahead, just got to focus on like acting like there's a car ahead and catching that car, even though it's not even the car there. You just need to focus on that car, because if you don't have nothing to focus on, you're gonna slip, and that's what he does not need right now.
Now, speaking of battles right now, we've got a battle here for 5th place between Stephen Parks and Charlie Woods. They're side by side as they come down to the line. Give that position to Charlie Woods. But Parks going to come at him on the outside. I think it's all going to be in vain though. 10 laps difference between Stephen Parks and Charlie Woods. And that's all it needs. 10 laps the difference, and Charlie Woods just going to take away that 5th place and say thank you very much. I'll take a top 5. You keep hanging back there.
Yeah, for sure. And you know, it turns out that the fresher tire guys actually ended up winning these battles, which we thought, oh, well, you need to pit. Turns out it's not quite working that way that we thought it was going to.
No, but here comes Stephen Parks though, battling back though. Trying to prove us wrong, make liars out of us, you know?
Yep, he's trying. He's definitely trying.
Oh, contact! And is he going to try and save it? He's going to try, and he's back on the track. So good save by Woods, but that was definitely a sketchy situation. And almost the caution come out, and that would have been disaster for this man we're watching right now, Michael Atkins Jr.
And you got to feel for Woods. He had that thing almost completely done. He almost had it, and it just messed it up a little bit there.
Yeah. That's pretty much handed the top 5 to either Stephen Parks or Marcus Hagman, because Hagman is right on the tail of the 3 now. And the top 5 is on, and Ron Holyfield is still right there as well, so he could steal it away from these guys.
What's the lap difference between these two here, Parks and Hagman?
The lap difference?
In terms of pitting.
1 lap.
1 lap. In favor of?
Hagman.
Ooh, so this could be interesting too.
Yeah, 44 laps on Stephen Parks' tyres, and Hagman has 43.
You know, he's kind of lurking back there as Holyfield too.
Yep. Holyfield is on fresher tyres than these guys. He's only run 36 laps on his tyres, so he's looking pretty competitive for a top 5 here tonight. But back at the front as we go to 5 laps to go is this man, Michael Atkins Jr. And Rob Jenkins has not let him get away, you know. He's still right there.
I think Atkins had a really bad lap. I mean, he was in the 5s and everyone else is in the 3s in this group, so I think he had a really bad lap or something.
Yeah.
He doesn't need those. He needs good laps. He doesn't need to screw it up.
And there you go. He's faster that time round. So 4 laps to go. Only 4 more circulations, and Michael Atkins Jr., I believe, will be a first time. This will be his first ever race win with Pasky's.
What?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, I think he's won before.
In the trucks, but not in the cup cars. I believe he's won in the trucks before, I'm not sure. We'll find out in the interview. As we're 3 laps to go now, Michael Atkins Jr. still your leader. Rob Jenkins gave it all he had, but is probably pretty much going to settle for 2nd place now. Kyle Zimmer in 3rd place, but down on him now. Michael Javarthan on the freshest tyres in that top 4. I take that back. He's not on the freshest tyres, but he's definitely looks like he's got the faster car between him and Zimmer, though.
Yeah, for sure. And it looks like, you know, I think Zimmer's going to settle for 3rd, and I think he'll take that tonight. A good orientation in the league for sure for him. Solid P3. I think he'll take that for sure. But let's talk about the run this leader had. He had an excellent night tonight, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. As Michael Atkins Jr. Comes out of turn 4, he will be showing the white flag now. As that comes out, 1 more circulation now for the man in the 48, driving the Mountain Dew machine, the Dew SA machine. There you go. Down the backstretch for the final time. Rob Jenkins going to be too far back to mount a challenge here as he's on much older tyres. And through turns 3 and 4, Rob Jenkins actually going to try and close the gap at the last second, but it's not going to be close enough. Michael Atkins Jr. dominating the final part of this race, crosses the line and wins at Charlotte. Coming home in second will be Rob Jenkins, Carl Zimmer for third, Michael Trevathan for fourth. Stephen Parks just holds on for a top 5 here tonight at Charlotte, and Ron Holyfield somehow manages to steal away 6th place from Marcus Hagman. So unfortunate for Hagman then, but this is your winner right now, Mr. I'm telling you now, he's going to be one happy man in the booth when we speak to him in a minute. But that will be in a minute. As before we do, we're going to head away for a catch our breath from that race in action. We'll be right back in just a second. Don't go anywhere as we go side by side.
It's Top Fuel Racing, live every Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern.
iRacing, you wanted the best, you got them 4 abreast. Often imitated, never duplicated. The greatest show on dirt, the World of Outlaw.
Welcome back to Charlotte as we have just come to the conclusion of tonight's step away for other things. So thanks for Nate Secret for being in the booth. But first we are going to speak to our winner here tonight, and that will be Michael Atkins Jr. as he's going to join me in the booth. Michael Atkins Jr. crossing the line here at Charlotte, bringing home your first career win here in the Pasky's Cup Series. You've got to be happy with that race tonight.
Oh, yes, sir.
So definitely a great run for you here tonight. Definitely had the car to beat around this track. You started at the back of the field, decided not to take qualifying time. Did you know before the race started that you had the car to beat here tonight?
Well, I knew I was one of the fastest, but you always have to factor in Hollingsworth and Trevorthian and a couple other guys. To speak in general, but it's a tough league to win a race at. You need luck and a good bit of skill. But once the race started going, I was after the first incident there, and I was able to move up to second, kind of keep pace and close in on Hollingsworth a little bit. I kind of followed his track, see what worked and what didn't, and where I was losing time and gaining time. And unfortunately, I'd love to race Hollingworth for the win there, but he had some misfortunes and mishaps of his race and stuff like that. So I feel sorry for him for that and everything went on. But other than that, can't believe I ran so good there after the way the season's been for me.
And through those last final pit stops there, looked like you lost a bit of an advantage there when you came out. It made up the positions very quickly, and it looked like you made pretty easy work of Rob Jenkins at the end there. Were you confident through the pit stops that you were going to be able to make it back to the front there, or did you think you'd missed the trick there?
No, I was pretty confident. The first green flag stops, I tried getting the jump ahead of Hollingsworth, and I noticed he stayed out a couple laps ahead of me, so that was my intention. And I saw Rob go in, and so I was like, I'm just going to hang a couple laps and keep the couple tenths advantage there, and hopefully I can close a gap. And once I kept looking at the standings lap by lap, I saw how fast, how quick we was getting between 3 to 5 tenths a lap. So I was like, definitely we can make up 5 seconds. So I tried to catch up to Kyle the quickest I could and take advantage of him the best and fastest way I could and race him clean so I could get up to Rob. So it all worked out.
Absolutely, and it did work out in the end. So congratulations on the win here tonight. Your first career win here in Pasky. Very well done here tonight. Looking ahead, we're off next week, but the week after we return to racing in the Cup Series at Homestead. What are your thoughts going to the 1.5 mile oval there?
I got to do a lot and a lot of practice in Homestead. I have a tendency of killing right front very, very early in the run, so I've got to do a lot of practice there. So we'll see how it is, and we'll just look at points if we're killing the right front rather quickly, and just race smart there and race for points, make the chase.
Absolutely, and it's going to be a good race to go to. Before I let you go, Michael, is there anybody you'd like to give a shout out to for tonight's win?
Give a shout out to my wife, my kids for putting up with me and allowing me to do iRacing. Shout out to my adopted nephew who's spent last night and the night with us, and they're probably asleep. Also, give out a shout out to my neighbors that live right across the yard from me. They said they may tune in and watch, so hope y'all enjoy.
Absolutely. Well, Michael Atkins Jr. bringing home your first win in Pasky's. Dominant performance here for you tonight in the number 48 Mountain Dew machine. Congratulations, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks at Homestead.
Yes, sir.
So that was our winner, Mr. Michael Atkins Jr. It doesn't look like we're going to be able to speak to Kyle Zimmer tonight. We were going to do a special thing with speaking by text, but so we won't be able to speak to him tonight. But now we're going to bring in our second place finisher. That will be Mr. Rob Jenkins. Rob, you gave it a good go tonight. You were leading for a good while after the last pit stops, but ultimately came up short there.
Yeah, Michael ran a good race, man.
Yeah, sorry, Rob.
That's okay. Yeah, I just I was running a close second to him there, but couldn't really get by him. There was definitely a little aero push when you got right up on somebody, and so I figured, well, my only chance was maybe try to short pit him, try to jump him in pits. It worked there for a while. He kind of surprised me how quick he caught me there at the end, and that's pretty much over after that. But heck of a race, and just glad to bring it home second.
Absolutely, it's another impressive run you've had in the Cup Series this season. Definitely putting your name out there for the chase here right now. As you got another podium here in this first season, and you're looking. You got to be impressed with the way you're going so far.
Yeah, I've had some good runs. These cars definitely seem to suit me. Struggling a little bit on Monday night. Got a lot of haters over there, but I think we proved we can get it done tonight. I had 2 incidents. Unfortunately, I scraped the wall on entry one time, I think. Other than that, we'd have gone incident free. But just shout out to my brother. He's up in New Jersey, probably watching us tonight, visiting with my other brother, Kevin. What's up, Kev? Glad you're home, man. Glad you're safe. Wish I was up there with y'all, and see you soon.
Absolutely, and your mum's in the chat as well, so she was cheering you on as well as always. So a quick hello to her, I'm sure.
Oh yeah. Hey, Mom, glad you're here. Glad you're rooting for us. Look forward to seeing you down at the beach with me this week. Looking forward to that.
Absolutely.
Real quick, shout out to ESPN for doing this, and certainly you, Sam. We appreciate you, man. And just keep doing what you do, bud.
Thanks, Rob. I appreciate the kind words there. Looking ahead, though, Rob, we're off next week for Labour weekend, but the week after that we head to Homestead. What are your thoughts going to the track in Florida there?
I'm not really sure. I think I run okay there, Sam. Not one of my favorite tracks, but who knows? We might have speed. Like I said, these Cup cars seem to suit me. So we'll find out, bud.
Absolutely. Well, Rob Jenkins, number 89, Jenkins Construction, Chevrolet, coming home in second place. Congratulations on the second place here tonight, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks. And if I don't, well, I'll see you on Monday. But if I don't speak to you, have a very good Labour weekend.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. Yeah, I'm gonna go on vacation this week, so I won't be with you on Monday night. But Mark will be holding it down for the Jenkins name, so. Well, you know who we'll be rooting for, and look forward to watching the broadcast.
Absolutely, Rob. Well, we'll see you next week. We'll see you in 2 weeks regardless then.
All right, Sam. Thanks, bud.
So that was Rob Jenkins, our second place finisher. Unfortunately, we're not going to speak to our third place finisher, as I've already mentioned. We're going to speak to a band that got a top 5 here tonight. That was Mr. Stephen Parks. He had a very... we're going to try and reach out to him right now, as he is currently sitting in TeamSpeak. So let's have a word with him right
there. Whoa.
The booth, you got a copy, sir?
Yes, I do.
Top 5 on the night here tonight. Very impressive run. You started P4. Led the race through the pit stops, but keep it out there. Still got to be happy with the top 5 tonight, though.
Yeah, definitely. It was a tough race, and you know, honestly, Charlotte isn't one of the tracks that I particularly like. It's not one of the tracks that I ever usually finish well at. So I was giving it everything I had at the end there to make sure I get a top 5 here tonight.
Yeah, you were definitely in the wars as well tonight, keeping that number 3 machine in that top 5. You were having battles all throughout this race tonight. Was it difficult trying to keep your concentration and make sure you don't get into anybody while you're all bunched up like that?
Yeah, and I mean, up until that incident I had with Charlie, and I apologized to him after the race about it. I had 0x, and you know, here at Pasky's, you get 5 bonus points if you have 0x. So definitely making that contact didn't work out in my favor at all, and I mean, something that I didn't want to do at all to begin with. So I mean, it was a good race overall, and like I said, I'm glad I got 5th, but I wish I had gotten those 5 bonus points.
Absolutely, as they are important with the chase coming up. But looking at the points table, though, you are looking in a very lofty position right now. Even though you missed 1 race so far this season, you're still looking pretty high up there in the chase race. Got to be happy with the way you see.
Yeah, there's there's a lot of tracks coming up that I'm not strong at, so we'll definitely see as the season goes on and the chase gets closer how I'm sitting. And really, I'm just approaching every race big picture and trying to get as many points as I can.
And it's time we head to Homestead Miami Speedway. What are your thoughts going to that?
You know, I'm honestly used to Homestead being at the end of the season. To have it in the middle of a season is kind of weird and a lot less on the line going there, so it'll be kind of interesting to see how I race there. In the past, I've done pretty well there with the older packages. Haven't done many laps in the new package yet, so definitely going to be something I'm doing this week.
Absolutely. Well, congratulations on the top 5 here tonight. Is there anyone you'd like to give a shout out to before I let you go here tonight?
Yeah, shout out to Kirkwood Transportation. This is the first race I've gotten to give him a shout out. He came on board back in, I want to say it was Phoenix when I got a 3rd place. And so he's been kind enough to put together the scheme. And I think you mentioned during the broadcast, I love how it looks just like an Austin Dillon scheme. Yeah, shout out to them. Shout out to my wife. She lets me do this. She lets me come in here and sit at a computer for 3 hours racing and yelling at the computer. So, yeah, other than that, great night here tonight.
Absolutely. Well, Stephen Parks in the number 3 Kirkwood Design Chevrolet bringing home a 5th place here tonight. Congratulations, and we'll see you in 2 weeks at Homestead.
Thank you.
That was Stephen Parks joining me in the booth. Well, that is going to do it for us tonight. We're going to quickly run through the results here for this one, as definitely been a entertaining race here tonight. As we're going to bring up some back. So let's go through the results for tonight's race. As coming home with a victory tonight, his first race win in Pasky's is Michael Atkins Jr. Rob Jenkins just coming up short through the pit stops. He settled for 2nd. Carl Zimmer with a top 3 here tonight. Michael Trevarthen has been on absolute hot form this season, but ultimately having to settle for 4th place. While Stephen Parks, we just spoke to him right there, he has to settle for P5. In P6 was Ron Holyfield. 7th was Marcus Hagman. 8th was Charlie Woods. 9th was Robert Dudley. And running out your top 10 was Mark Vega. In P11 was Ernie Ludwig, 12th Hoot Baker, 13th Jeff Hollingsworth, 14th Kevin Pasquich, and 15th was Dylan Vose. Mike Tipton not taking the green here tonight. Well, that is going to do it for us here tonight. A fantastic race all around for everybody. If you want some more racing action, don't forget to go over to the other side of the channel. There was another broadcast on tonight. That was the iRacing East Series. Make sure you check that one out, as it was an absolute barn burner again here tonight. Looking ahead on the schedule, we go to NASCAR tomorrow night as they contest the next race in their series. Make sure you check them out, give them a bit of support. And then Sunday we head to the next round of the Sim Racing Authority Series, and looking forward to that one as well. You can find me in the booth for that one. Monday we're back in the trucks at Charlotte in Pasky's in the Cardiac Truck Series. Definitely going to be a good race there. And Wednesday we're back in the IndyCars. You can find Adam in the booth for that one. That's for Top Fuel Racing as they head to Texas. But regardless, that is going to do it for us here tonight at Charlotte with the Pasky's Cardiac Cup Series. Great racing all around. Only 4 cautions here tonight, and Michael Atkins Jr. ultimately coming away with the victory tonight. And congratulations going out to him. Thanks to our sponsors, iRacing, iFlag, and make sure you check out the ESPN Fast Talk podcast, which is coming soon. Make sure you keep your ears pinned back for that one. All that's left for me to say for tonight is keep it clean, keep it green, and for the last time tonight, we will see you in 24 hours time when we go to NASCAR Online. Have a good night.